1-800-971-2937. I'll give it to you one more time. It's 1-800-971-2937. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Please join us again next week for another edition of Discoveries in Health. Until then, I'm Chris McKay, wishing good health to you and your family.
The preceding was paid for by Two Lights Media. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 72 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. The driver who's accused of hitting a man with his vehicle in Uptown early Saturday morning has been identified. Police say 34-year-old Kamal Prasad Upreti appeared to have been under the influence of alcohol when he allegedly struck a man near 5th Avenue and Marion Street around 2:30 Saturday morning. That man later died at the hospital. Police say bystanders caught up with Upreti, who tried to flee the scene. Those bystanders held Upreti until police arrived. Upreti is in the Allegheny County Jail facing multiple charges. Pittsburgh police have announced that a 16-year-old is being charged with a mass shooting that occurred in East Liberty's Garland Park back in June. Aaron Reddix was arrested a few days after the shooting and left 4 people wounded. Police caught up with Reddix after he allegedly was involved in a carjacking on June 27th. That car crashed along Route 65. In that incident, police found guns that matched shell casings found in the East Liberty shooting. Reddix is currently in the Allegheny County Jail. Well, a man is dead after a crash involving 2 motorcycles in Fayette County. That crash happened Saturday morning at the intersection of Route 21 and Leckrone High House Road. That's in McClellantown. 2 motorcycles involved. One of the motorcyclists, 25-year-old Delbert Valentine Jr., died at the scene. The cause of that crash is under investigation. KDK Radio News Time is 7:03. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Long live the king.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival, just southeast of Pittsburgh, is back. August 23rd and 24th is opening weekend.
It's entertainment. It's fantasy.
It's an adventure. To the past.
Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. At the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets available at PittsburghRemFest.com.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
There are things in this world that are just a bad combo, like morning rush hour on the Parkway and an empty stomach.
Well, folks, it looks like today is going to be a doozy. Be safe out there.
But you know what's actually a smart combo? Upside cash back with your credit card rewards. That's right. With Upside, you can earn cash back every time you fill up or grab your morning coffee at hundreds of nearby gas stations and restaurants in Pittsburgh, like GetGo, Circle K, and Dunkin'. The best part? You can combine Upside with your credit card perks and loyalty programs. It's like double dipping your rewards with an extra side of cash back. Download Upside, and for a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code PITT39. That's promo code PITT39 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. See why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. Next time you're filling up or fueling up, choose the smart combo with Upside. Don't forget to use promo code PITT39. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sun and humid conditions with a thunderstorm around into the evening hours, any of which may bring gusty winds and cause ponding on roadways, high 85. Tonight turns out partly cloudy with a low of 62, followed by less humidity and clouds and sun tomorrow, high 82. Then warmer Tuesday with a shower and thunderstorm around, high 87. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020.
He's a
KDKA.
traveling man. That's right. He's been all over, here, there, and everywhere. We're going to talk to Doug in a moment. But let's begin by giving you an opportunity to win a gift certificate to Sorgel's out in Wexford. You got to be the 10th caller at 412-922-1020. And also gardening questions, Davy Tree, Talking Tree, lots to get to. Load up the fan lines at 866-391-1020. But you were in my old stomping grounds.
Yes, a little later on we'll be doing Talking Trees with Steve Fallure from Davy Tree. And I went to Ohio for a really cool garden day. And so I've become friends with Keith Kaiser and Mark Miller. They're from the Pittsburgh Botanic Garden. Keith is the executive director, and Mark is in charge of education. And I've been working with them, off and on for at least 10 years. And I've got a connection with Keith where I worked in Youngstown. He was the executive director of Fellows Riverside Garden in Youngstown. That's a place you should go to. You should see it. It's an amazing garden. But I didn't know him when I was in Youngstown, except I went back there to speak at that garden once while he was still executive director, and I worked at the Post-Gazette, and we met then. He came here, took over the Pittsburgh Botanic Garden. He lives in the town that my mother grew up in, Lisbon, Ohio. And so he set up this day. He just said, let's the three of us spend a day in Ohio, since we're all three from Ohio. We'll start in Lisbon, where his wife's in charge of the library, and we'll look around at some gardens and different things. And so my first stop was my grandmother's house, because I tell the story all the time about how when I was like 7 years old, 1967, I was hanging upside down in this maple tree in her front yard, and I was watching her work on her tomato plants. She had this area, she called it a gully, in between her property and the neighbor's property. And so I said, well, let's go up and take a look. And I was so surprised to see the maple tree was still there, only 10 times as big.
Massive.
Yeah, this huge maple tree. And so I said, guys, take a picture of me with this maple tree. And where my grandmother's garden was this like flat spot now of just flat lawn. And I was just amazed that the tree was still there, and certainly lots of memories from visiting as a kid. And that was the start of my gardening journey. After that day when I saw my grandmother working on her tomato plants, we went back home, and I begged my mother to put in a vegetable garden. And so that's where it all started. And so we had a great day. And so he took us all around Columbiana County, which was so much fun. And we went to this place called Heggy's Confectionery that serves French fries with butter, Rob. And French fries with butter are pretty darn good.
That'll set you free.
I'll tell you what. And all this candy there, bought some candy for my wife, and took us to Columbiana, and I saw this garden I'd never heard of before called Hipley Gardens. It's 3 acres. It's free. It's open to the public, and it is the coolest place. He's got like an old red truck with a fountain coming out of the back of it. It's a place where kids can actually come and play basketball or sit in the shade. And I was asking him, I'm like, are the kids okay? Are they causing trouble? He goes, no. So he goes, sometimes the middle school kids will cause trouble, but the high school kids will take care of it. And so I'm going to take people back to this garden. This garden was just absolutely amazing, and the fact that it's just an open space for people, and a kid's garden, and a giant like pond with waterfalls, and brick sculptures and whimsical giant gnomes, whimsical giant drunk gnomes.
My kind of gnomes.
Yeah. Oh man, it was the best day. And then Keith also works on this park in Columbiana, and it's called Firestone Park. The Firestones were from that area.
Beautiful.
And yeah, the park is just amazing. And so I just had the most amazing day there in Columbiana County, and to go back to see my old haunt. And when I went through East Liverpool, I thought of you, Rob. I'm like, I think this is one of the areas that Rob
great community
would go to. And back when I worked at the Vindicator, I spent a lot of time down there, all through the Columbiana County, Leetonia and Columbiana. And the other thing was kind of funny was went to Keith's garden to see his garden, and I said, "This looks really familiar." And there's this tavern there, Spread Eagle Tavern.
Oh yeah.
And he said, I said, I can't place it, but I've been here before. He goes, "Oh, were you here covering quail?" I'm like, "That's it." So
Vice President Quayle.
Back in '92, when Quayle visited, Keith was standing right there. It's right across from where I was photographing the vice president. Just kind of weird little coincidental things. So again, it was a great day. In the garden yesterday, I was so excited. 2 monarchs were all over the Tithonia, the Mexican sunflower torch. One of my favorite plants. I'm always talking about it. This one's like 7 feet tall, filled with orange blossoms. Pollinators love it. And I even saw a hummingbird for a minute. Well, I photographed them all, and I was so excited. I put the pictures up at DougOster.com. If you don't have Facebook or if you can't see them another way, just go to DougOster.com if you want to see this. I haven't seen a monarch in the garden in I don't know how long, and I was worried. I was looking at him like, is that a viceroy or a monarch? And it was definitely a monarch. And it led me to a job I should have been doing already, which was deadheading. That one had lots of spent blossoms, so I cut those off. I looked at my geraniums in a hanging basket. I cut off the spent blossoms. Deadheading's a good summer job to keep those flowers blooming. Now, Thursday, 9 a.m., I will be on Pittsburgh Today Live, and I'm doing a brand new presentation there, a brand new segment, all about growing in small spaces, urban spaces, small spaces. And so that's kind of the trend with plant breeders now is to breed things that are smaller. So I'm bringing all sorts of stuff on TV. And Friday, there are still tickets available for this event called Recipe for Hope. It's helps fund a charity called Hairpiece, and I've
is that time of year again already?
Yeah, it's Friday, and I have been doing it since the beginning. I missed one for my wife's 50th birthday when we took her to St. Croix. But other than that, I've been to everyone, and I am making spicy Calabrian shrimp, and it's gonna be awesome. And so all sorts of celebrities, I'm using air quotes because they're calling me a celebrity, but the real celebrities from like TV are going to be there, and they're all going to have a dish for you to try. It is so much fun, and again, it funds this great charity called Hairpiece. Bonnie Diver runs Hairpiece, and she uses that charity to help women with cancer. It started off just by providing wigs for women, but does so many other things. And so you should come see me at that thing Friday. It's going to be fun. Now, maybe we'll get some rain today, but all I've been doing is watering. Containers. I'm hoping for rain today. If not today, Tuesday, Wednesday. But that opens us up for another planting window. Think about this third season. We're a little early for trees and shrubs. We'll talk to Steve a little bit about that. A little early for me, in my opinion. I don't like to plant trees and shrubs this early. I wait till next month. Same with trees, shrubs. Certainly not bulbs till September. But some of the cool weather crops can go in now. The lettuce, the Swiss chard, the beets, all that sort of stuff can be planted right now, and it's something to think about. Now, when we come back from the break, It's time to talk gardening. Give us a call, 866-391-1020.
All right, we'll be back. Stay with us. It is the Organic Gardener and that guy, Doug Oster, DougOster.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Bucks lost to the Cubs yesterday, 3-1. 2 teams again today at Wrigley. First pitch, 2:20. Here at a 93.7 The Fan. Roman Wilson, second-year wideout for the Pittsburgh Steelers, missed all but a handful of snaps last season, caught 2 passes for 72 yards in a Steelers 17-14 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Acrisure Stadium. Chase McLaughlin's 42-year-old field goal as time expired snapped that 14-14 tie. Steelers back in preseason action this Thursday against Carolina. BMW Championship through 3 rounds. Robert McIntyre is at 16 under, has a 4-shot lead ahead of the world's #1 Scotty Scheffler, and the Riverhounds lost to Charleston 2-1 at Highmark Stadium last night. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Want to avoid a big home repair headache? Call PJ Fitzpatrick to fix the small problems before they become big ones. PJ will come to your home with a complete shop on their truck, and they can fix it all same day. Poorly sealed windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, and leaking roofs. This is the time to call the home repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. Visit them at trustpj.com. With over 40 years of experience, they'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com and stay off the ladders.
We're all human with the same insecurities, doubting ourselves, thinking we're not worthy or good enough, believing those negative thoughts we think. Stop! Every last one of us is good enough to be the best version of ourselves. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Come to me, and together we'll change that way of thinking. Excess pounds will come off, you'll feel and look better, and thoughts will become positive. If you want to change, just call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Well, it's summer, and with the heat, are your plants and weeds seem to be thriving? Hi, this is Randy from Sorgels in Wexford. If summer has brought a few places where you just need a few plants to fill in, we have you covered. We have fresh hanging baskets, herbs, and still beautiful annuals to fill in those spots. And if you've been waiting to plant an apple tree, we have a great selection. And we have the expertise to make you successful. But Sorgels is more. Our home accents and our baby apparel is something new that you have to see. And of course, our fruit market, deli, bakery, gift barn, Naturally Sorgels gluten-free store, tiny town play area, ice cream, and Arsenal cider for the big kids. And especially, thanks for your support of our family business. And I encourage you to shop any family-owned farm or garden center first. Sorgels, 724-935-2090.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, this is where we simply say, please call Doug. He wants to talk to you, anything on your mind in the way of gardening. 866-391-1020. Here's Darlene in Robinson, wants to talk about those monarch butterflies. Hey, Darlene, how are you?
Hey, fine. How are you?
I am good. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, I've been thinking about this all week because I have been seeing at least 2 or 3 monarchs every day in my garden for over a week. And I was so excited because last year I think I only saw 2. And I have milkweed. My daughter convinced me to grow milkweed, probably 8 or 9 years ago, and it's all over. And I've seen a lot of caterpillars. And
that's exciting.
Many monarchs.
Oh, that's exciting. That's, we're planting milkweed to try and help the monarch. I have a milkweed that I started from seed called narrow leaf milkweed. It's a native, and we'll see how it does as far as, are you growing the common milkweed? Is that why it's taken over?
Yeah, I'm growing the common. I've had others, but they seem to get squashed out.
Yeah.
But the common is the one. But that's okay because we have a lot of room. And my husband gets a little irritated because it's all over the place. But
yeah, but you're doing a good thing. You can't complain about that. I mean, to help out those monarchs.
Yeah, made me feel so good. I saw several large caterpillars the other day, and I was just so excited because last year were very, very few. So it's a good thing. I hope people grow more of it. And there are so many pretty ones out there, too, that you can grow that they love. So
they don't all have great names, though. There's like swamp milkweed,
but it's beautiful.
It is. It's very, very pretty. Yeah. And milkweed in general is a pretty plant and important for us to grow to help the monarch for sure. Anything else in your garden that's attracting those monarchs as far as flowers?
Well, I also have the Mexican sunflower. I have that too, and they love it. Yeah, I have that.
Well, what got you on the Mexican sunflower? Because that's not grown that much. Did you just find it in a nursery or?
No, actually, you did. I heard it on the show.
Oh, good.
And I looked into getting some seeds, and we've also been growing that, my daughter and I, for probably around 8 or 9 years, and it's just wonderful.
Oh, such an easy plant to grow, and just like you, I was just head over heels when I saw those monarchs in the garden, and they stayed all day on that Mexican sunflower. I went out a couple more times after I photographed them, and they were still there until the very end of the day. So it was pretty exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. It gives us hope,
Yeah, like so many things, monarchs are in decline, and we can do just our little bit to try and keep them going. Now, the next thing will be hopefully you can see a chrysalis and see one hatch out and then fly back to Mexico. Well, good. Thank you so much for the call and for the information. Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Thank you.
All right, Barbara is up next. Keep these calls coming. He wants to work. He wants to hear from you. 866-391-1020. Here is Barbara in Forest Hills on KDKA. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
My question is about... Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, we stepped on each other. Go ahead.
My question is, when is a good time to transplant crocosmia? Mine are all done blooming. The hummingbirds really loved it, but now they're tall, falling over, and I'd like to transplant those in the fall if that's the best time. I'm not sure.
That's when I would do it. I would wait, though, until we're getting to cooler weather. Probably next month, but not for sure. Watch the weather. Look for a little stretch of cool and rainy, and that's the best time to do it. I would cut them back a little bit. I would cut off the tops, the flower, what's left of the flowers, and then get as much of the plant underneath as you can. When I'm doing this, when I'm making these moves, I try to dig a hole that's pretty close to what I think it's going to be, where it's already going to be, just to try and keep it out of the ground for as least amount of time as possible. Crocosmia are tough as nails, so they're going to be fine. How did you get onto that plant? That's another one that people don't plant a lot of.
Well, my neighbor, when I moved here, she had such a beautiful garden, and her shrubs were manicured so beautifully. She had them planted there, so I asked her, and I started purchasing them because I liked the hummingbirds they attracted. But, when you have somebody next door with a beautiful garden like that, I had to step it up the next year.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Well, I did want to comment on one other thing about your monarchs. Years ago, I had my property certified as pollinator friendly.
Oh, nice.
When I first moved here, I saw one butterfly that year, and now I have purchased several plants. The whole garden is for, mainly butterflies, but other insects come. And I raise monarchs, and I try to name them after people once they eclose to get more people interested in milkweed and pollinators. So I'll probably name one after you real soon.
I like that. One more thing with when you're moving those plants. In that new place where they're going to go, improve that with compost. Get a bag of compost and kind of dig it in, and they're going to love that. And of course, they love full sun. Actually, when I was in Ohio, I saw the same thing. I saw a whole bank of those flowers, and they had just finished. So good for you, and great job on those monarchs. And if you do name one for me, let me know. Get a picture.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Doug. Take care.
Thanks so much for your call.
All right, listen, we're just about ready to get to a break. Tell them what's coming up on the other side.
Well, Steve Falora from Davy Trees here. We're going to talk all about trees and pollinators, and I'm going to ask him a little bit about when we start planting.
All right, listen, I don't know if we can pull this off or not. If we can get him in the queue, we'll try to sneak one more call in here.
All righty.
Let's do this real fast. Jim, I got about a minute and a half. Go ahead.
Very quickly, I tried to get some pawpaw trees going. I can get them to grow about 3 or 4, 7 inches. Should I try to transplant them this year, or what do I do with them over the winter?
Leave them where they're at for now. They shouldn't be transplanted until early in the spring, before they leaf out is the best time to do it. Just leave them where they're at. If they're in a container, they're going to have to go into the ground here in September. And then if they're already in the ground and started, just leave them there for the winter. They'll winter over there without any problem, even though they're so small. And then early in the spring, move them to their location. The thing about them, they have a long tap root, and they hate being moved. So you got to do it while they're small.
All right, thank you for the call. Good stuff. We'll take a break. Davy Tree, Talking Tree, that's Janoski's giveaway. Your calls, anything related to trees, give us a shout at 866-391-1020. Rob Taylor with the news coming up next, 7:30. Good morning.
Indulge your senses with the perfect blend of wine, music, and dining at City Winery in the Strip District Terminal. Enjoy live performances from legendary artists and local favorites in an intimate listening room designed for an unforgettable concert experience. Savor locally sourced food and award-winning wine, all in a setting that brings music and flavor together like never before. Whether it's a night out with friends or a special occasion, make it memorable. Reserve your table now at citywinery.com/Pittsburgh.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want while you sleep. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richert, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. Wake up to your friends, weekday mornings on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is dead following a crash involving 2 motorcycles in Fayette County. Crash happened Saturday morning at the intersection of Route 21 and Leckrone High House Road. That's in McClellan Town. 2 motorcycles, as mentioned, were involved. One of those motorcyclists, 25-year-old Delbert Valentine Jr., died at the scene. Right now, the cause of the crash is under investigation. The driver, who's accused of hitting a man with his vehicle in Uptown early Saturday morning, has been identified. Police say 34-year-old Kamal Prasad Upreti appeared to have been under the influence of alcohol when he allegedly struck a man near 5th Avenue and Marion Street around 2:30 Saturday morning. A man later died at the hospital. Police say bystanders caught up with Upreti, who tried to flee the scene. The bystanders held Upreti until police got to the scene. Upreti is in the Allegheny County Jail facing multiple charges, including DUI. Pittsburgh police announced that a 16-year-old is being charged with the mass shooting that occurred in East Liberty's Garland Park back in June. Aaron Reddix was arrested a few days after the shooting and left 4 people wounded. Police caught up with Reddix after he was allegedly involved in a carjacking on June 27th. That car crashed along Route 65. In that incident, police found guns that matched shell casings found in the East Liberty shooting. Reddix is in the Allegheny County Jail. Penn State University has suspended a fraternity for a minimum of 4 years following an investigation into hazing allegations. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity was suspended after the university says it received credible reports of hazing that included physical and mental abuse along with forced physical activity. Penn State also said students in the fraternity are facing misdemeanor charges under state law that was enacted after a student died in 2017 following hazing incidents by a separate university fraternity. Well, an Uber driver and his passenger are safe after escaping from armed carjackers who had put a tree branch on the road to get the driver to stop. Here's the story from CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
In Lancaster, Massachusetts, 33-year-old Esmelki Acevedo was about to drop off his last passenger of the night when he saw the branch. When he got out of his car to move it, 2 men jumped out of the woods and ran to the car, the passenger still inside.
I don't know if they want to rob us, but what I can see is they just want the car so bad.
One of the men jumped into the driver's seat, pointed a gun at the passenger, and demanded her cell phone. Acevedo pulled the man out of the seat, regained control of the car, and sped away with his passenger. Police say the branch in the road was a setup. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
KDKA Radio News Time, 7:33. AccuWeather forecast next.
Summer's here, and so is Len Lacina from Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory.
Lacina can immediately refresh your home with custom window treatments. For over 60 years, our family-owned company has handcrafted stunning draperies in our very own factory and offers top-quality blinds, shades, shutters, and more.
Take advantage of Lacina's free shop-at-home service or visit their showrooms in Dormont and Wexford. Remember, Lacina's prices can't be beat. 412-665-4900 or visit lacinadrapery.com.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hey, your Pratt Pack, some important news from the farm. Janoski's in Clinton now taking orders for regular and Roma canning tomatoes. Sold half bushel increments only. Regular, $22 a half bushel, 2 for $40. Roma, $25 a half bushel, 2 for $45. No mix and match. It's happening right now at the farm. All roads lead to the farm. Janoski's Farm, Route 30 in Clinton, open 7 days a week. Like them on Facebook, janoskis.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sun with the risk for a thunderstorm through the evening. Any storm may bring ponding on roadways and gusty winds with a high of 85. Then some clouds tonight, low 62, followed by a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, high 82. Tuesday brings a shower and thunderstorm and warmer conditions with some sun, high 87. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
10th caller going to win a $25 gift certificate to Janoski's in Clinton. That's the 10th caller at 412-922-1020.
And now, it's time for Talking Trees, a service of the Davy Tree Expert Company.
We're joined this morning by Steve Fallor from the Davy Tree Expert Company. Today we're talking all about how trees support butterflies and other pollinators. Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great, Doug. How are you?
You're not convincing me. Steve, how you doing this morning?
Doing fantastic, Doug. How are you?
It's early. Okay. So let's talk about trees and pollinators and how they work together. What's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Well, I mean, with trees and pollinators, it's kind of a two-way partnership. The pollinators are just as important to the trees as the trees are to the pollinators. They both play a vital role in our ecosystem. So without one or the other, we wouldn't have either.
Okay, that sounds good. And are there certain trees that, well, I guess, do all trees attract pollinators? Do they all flower or just some do?
For the most part, yes, you're going to... A generalized statement is almost all plants need pollinators.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Without going into great detail, but with pollinators, they enable the reproduction process of trees and shrubs. They boost seed and fruit production, and they maintain genetic diversity, which I think is one of the greatest assets between the two.
I didn't think of that. That's a good point, that they're bringing pollen from other trees, and like you said, so that we don't have a monoculture, right?
Exactly. That's one of the greatest assets, in my opinion.
Sure. And so trees also are a place where a pollinator can do its thing, mate, and make chrysalis and everything else, right?
Absolutely. It's there. I mean, it is. It's where they live. It's where they mate. It's where they molt. It's the plants are everything to the pollinators. Mm-hmm. Just like our ecosystem is ours, a tree can be an entire ecosystem for a pollinator. So they do rely on it very heavily. There's multiple different trees that I like to kind of talk about whenever I talk to people about pollinators. Mm-hmm. Just in the Pittsburgh area. Whenever we're looking at planting, I know we've talked about planting quite a bit. I try to get some diversity in flowering times for, when I'm building a design around a homeowner's house. In the springtime, your flowering trees, some natives I like to use are red buds, service berries, plum trees, and then if you want a larger tree, sometimes we'll go with a cherry for a kind of an early spring blooming tree. For the summer, I'm a big fan of the pawpaw. I know that you and I talked about pawpaws a little while ago.
Right.
And for shade trees, I'm a big fan of tulip poplars.
Oh yeah,
they're great for pollinators.
Let's go over. Go ahead. Go with your fall choices.
That is important because it's my favorite, the black gum. That's one of my favorite trees, so I love trying to get as many black gums out there as I can.
Oh, you arborists and your black gums. You love the black gums. So we're going to go in reverse order then. Let's talk a little bit about the trees. Let's talk about that black gum and why, when we do talk to an arborist like yourself, Steve, we oftentimes hear them say that's one of their favorite trees. And it's a tree that we don't see as much as we would like to in the landscape. So break down that tree for me. Why is it such a favorite of yours?
Well, I think it actually has a lot to do with we don't see as many of them as we would like to see. They're a very hardy native tree. They have a magnificent fall-time color. And not many things affect them. They're a great shade tree for this region. They grow well in our soils. Like I said, the fall-time color. And we just don't see a lot of them. There are plenty of oaks and maples and everything else. So, as an arborist, we just talked about genetic diversity or monocultures that you brought up. So we're trying to break that pattern, install some black gums. You get a nice shade tree, a nice hardy shade tree that's native, and it's not part of our, kind of monoculture that we're building with
right.
oaks everywhere.
And then, of course, you brought it up, so you opened up the door. Pawpaws. That is an interesting. That's an interesting tree that is getting more and more popular.
Yep.
The pawpaw is actually pollinated by flies, which is kind of interesting, and it's our only tropical fruit. It puts on this kind of potato-sized fruit, and I'm a pawpaw. I'm obsessed with pawpaws. So whenever I see a pawpaw tree out there in the wild, I'm very excited, and I'm trying to move them all around my yard. But are you seeing people plant them? Or is it a common thing to plant, or just where are you seeing them?
It is certainly not a common thing to plant, but it is something that, as an arborist, obviously we have a little bit of knowledge, and it's something that we can talk to homeowners about. And we do like to try to plant as many pawpaws as we can. We usually keep some stocked at our office here in Pittsburgh, and we use those as a nice ornamental tree. Because you can talk to people about the fruit and how it pollinates. And yes, it is flies. If people can kind of get over that, I mean, it's a nice tree. It really is.
The shape of it is. How would you describe that shape? I don't. It's really a pretty tree and stays relatively small, 20 feet or so, right?
Yeah. I would almost say, kind of like a bell.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
They're very nice trees. Like I said, they're, get a little bit larger for an ornamental tree. Not a large tree by any stretch of the imagination. They're hardy, and they produce a phenomenal fruit. That's the keynote for the pawpaw, in my opinion.
I was actually at an event yesterday in South Park, and I ran into somebody that is friends with our friend Miles Stevens, who used to be with Davy Tree. He retired. He was a pawpaw fanatic, and she was telling me he was telling her that he had so many pawpaws that he didn't know what to do with them. He was making ice cream and smoothies and everything else. I had someone reach out to me on my Facebook page saying, I've never tasted one. And I said, just get a hold of me in September and we'll try and help you out. And that goes true for anybody. I'm one of these guys. I want people to taste a pawpaw. And so I've got plenty of pawpaws, and I'm going to be getting pawpaws from people. So we'll have a little pop-up somewhere where people can try a pawpaw. Let's go to the redbud, though. How often are you planting redbuds? Is that something that's becoming a thing too? Because that's just a really beautiful native tree.
Yeah, redbuds are extremely popular. I mean, the showy pink flower in the springtime, that's an easy thing that kind of everybody likes. They're also a relatively hardy tree as well, whether it be the eastern redbud, the forest pansy redbud, the different varieties. And it gives people an option of what aesthetic they want out of their tree, all within the redbud family. We are planting quite a bit of those.
Is there one fancy one that you like over another one? If somebody wants something different for a redbud?
Yeah, I generally just try to show everybody the pictures of all of them. The flamethrower redbud.
That's the one I'm thinking of, the flamethrower. Yep. I knew there was one that was like really cool. Yeah. When we come back, I want to talk about that flamethrower variety, Steve. So hang in there for the break. For more information about Davy Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davy.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts like Steve from Davy Tree at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-TREE. 8733.
All right, coming up next hour, it's all about veggies, and especially from your garden. That's on the Coons Cooking Hour. And then, of course, we've got much more throughout the day, including the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. A lot on that. Steelers lost to Tampa Bay last night, getting ready for their final preseason game this Thursday against Carolina, and the Bucs wrapping up their series in Chicago against the Cubs today. Stay with us.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio. KDKA. Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Bucs lost to the Cubs yesterday 3-1. Two teams again today at Wrigley. First pitch 2:20 here at a 93.7 The Fan. Roman Wilson, second-year wideout for the Pittsburgh Steelers, missed all but a handful of snaps last season, caught 2 passes for 72 yards in a Steelers 17-14 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Acrisure Stadium. Chase McLaughlin's 42-year-old field goal as time expired snapped that 14-14 tie. Steelers back in preseason action this Thursday against Carolina. BMW Championship through 3 rounds. Robert McIntyre is at 16-under, has a 4-shot lead ahead of the world's number 1, Scotty Scheffler, and the Riverhounds lost to Charleston 2-1 at Highmark Stadium last night. More sports at 937thefan.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The heat of the summer is still here, and so are those hot savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. All-natural pork baby back ribs, $2.99 a pound. Sweet blueberries, 1 pint package, $1.77 each. And selected varieties of San Giorgio pasta, 12 to 16-ounce boxes, 88 cents each. Additional savings in our meat department. USDA Choice Porterhouse for T-bone steaks, $10.99 a pound. And farm-raised fresh salmon steaks, $10.99 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown green peppers, $1.59 a pound. And locally grown sweet bi-color corn, 6 for $3. In our deli department, Silver Star chipped ham, $4.99 a pound, and Coons deep fried turkey breast is $9.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Peter Pan peanut butter, 16.3-ounce jars, 2 for $5.
So get in on these hot savings now at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, let's get back to Doug and Steve. A little bit of the added bonus of Davy Tree Talking Trees.
Joined by Steve Fallor from the Davy Tree Expert Company. And when we took the break, we were talking about a special redbud tree called Flamethrower. Explain Flamethrower, and then we'll go to the phones, Steve.
So the Flamethrower redbud it's a variety of the eastern redbud, a cultivar. It has like a yellow base, and as the foliage pushes out towards the ends, they turn into a very vibrant red color at the end of the branches. So it looks like a flamethrower. Each branch does. They're very pretty, showy tree.
Is it as hardy as the other ones too?
It's pretty hardy, yes. I kind of firmly believe that most cultivars are not
right
100% as hardy as the native.
That makes sense.
Yes, they're hardy.
All right. Well, Rob, let's go to the phone, see if we got any tree questions.
All right, here's Jason up first for Steve and Doug. Go ahead, Jace. Hello, Jason. All right, Jason's not there. Let's try Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, good morning. My question is not about a tree, though. It's a gardening question. So we have had terrible luck growing cucumbers, and we tried the succession planting, and it seems we just get disease. So my husband found...
So just stop right there. So what's the disease you're getting, or what's happening?
So it's usually the bugs come with the beetles, and we're using Captain Jack. But it seems like there's all kind of bugs bringing disease.
And so when we say disease, what's happening to the plant? Is it just wilting away, or is it changing color?
It's more wilting away.
Okay, so that's probably bacterial wilt, where you'll have that plant growing really good, then the next day it's all wilted. No matter how much water you put on it, it won't come back. Is that what is happening?
That's like, we have two separate gardens. That is in one, but the other one, you'll see the leaves, they look a little yellow. Now they're starting to turn brown. Then they shrivel up.
And then, so what's the soil conditions? Do we have good compost there?
Every year we add the compost. Every year we get.
And you said you're succession planting too. You're doing like 3 plantings?
Yes.
Oh boy.
So my husband found something called kaolin clay. Have you ever heard of kaolin?
Yep. They use that a lot. They use that a lot in fruit orchards, and that would be a good thing to use on the foliage to stop the pest.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll give that a try. I didn't know how organic or how that.
That's an organic way to deal with the insects. But it sounds like you're doing everything right. That's frustrating. With good soil and the succession planting. The only thing else is if you really got desperate, you could get a variety of cucumber which doesn't need pollination, and you could grow those under a floating row cover, and then the pest couldn't get to it. It'd be a physical barrier. There's one called Diva that doesn't need pollination. There's a whole bunch of them. And I can't remember the scientific term. It's something like parthenogenic or something like that. It doesn't need pollination. So that would be another option for you too, okay?
Believe it or not, we tried that. And I don't know, somehow a bug got on. Something got, maybe it's in the soil, because we grew that Diva, and we got a few that year. We got a few cucumbers, and we had a big tent. We had a big tent for that. So I'll try this kaolin clay, since you think it's okay.
It is okay. Well, let me know how it works, okay?
May I tell you a success story?
Sure, go ahead.
So you had a guest on from Canada about tomatoes, and she liked this purple Roma. So I got the seeds from Oregon, and I grew them. Oh, are they delicious?
That was Nikki Jabor. She's one of my favorite garden writers. And so purple Roma, and it did really well for you, huh?
Oh my gosh, there's about 50 tomatoes on the plant, and they're really delicious. So I really appreciate you having that guest, because she's the one that mentioned that was one of her favorites.
All right. Well, thanks very much for your call.
All right. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
All right, Sharon, one more call for Steve and Doug. Go ahead, Sharon. You're on KDKA.
Oh, good morning, Doug. I have a plant that's supposed to attract butterflies. I think it's called swamp milkweed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it has beautiful pink blooms. Anyway, the stems are now covered with these orange bugs, and I thought at first that they were ladybugs, but they're not. They're just like all orange. They're the size of a ladybug. They have 2 black marks on the back.
Okay, I know what they are.
Okay.
Steve, have you ever seen these orange milkweed bugs before when you've been out in the field?
More than likely, to be honest, Doug, I haven't looked at a lot of milkweeds.
Yeah,
as of late.
This is definitely out of your wheelhouse, but So that's a milkweed bug, and it's nothing to worry about. They do feed on the plant, but they don't do enough damage to hurt that swamp milkweed. Don't worry about that. So, Steve, let's go back to a little bit about our pollinators and how important they are when we're talking about our ecosystem. For somebody like me, when I'm trying to solve a problem with my tree, I'm trying to do it without chemicals. Can we do that if you're coming to the house to work on something?
Absolutely. That is the first thing that we look at. All plants have natural defense mechanisms. We just have to make sure that plant is healthy enough and hardy enough to do so. So first we have to figure out is the plant healthy enough to ward off insects, disease, drought stresses, environmental stressors.
Steve, I'm sorry. We're running out of time, buddy. Thank you for all the information. Thanks for coming on. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts from Davey Tree at 855-982-TREE.
All right, news coming up next.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
KDKA-TV, Barry Pintar. And as we get ready to transition to the fall, you did a story that involves Pittsburgh Brewing.
We saw on the line coming out the Blockhouse Pumpkin Ale, which has just exploded in popularity. It's like the #1 pumpkin ale in this part of the country right now.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
ABC Transit is urgently hiring for CDL and van drivers. Current sign-on bonus for Class B with S&P endorsements is $2,500. Van drivers get a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Complete their CDL program and earn up to $1,000 in additional bonuses. Safety and attendance bonuses available. You must be able to pass all background and clearance checks, must be drug-free. 9 locations in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties. Apply in person. Call 724-831-8500.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Berg with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. New York style, yins are made. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. August 23rd, experience a celebration of unity, creativity, and community with Building Bridges Day on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. Help paint a collaborative mural and enjoy live performances, family yoga, kids' activities, and more. One bridge, one day, countless connections. Details at whammo1073.com.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
Long live the king! Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival, just southeast of Pittsburgh, is back. August 23rd and 24th is opening weekend. It's entertainment, it's fantasy.
It's an adventure! To the past!
Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. At the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets available at pittsburghrenfest.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is dead, another is hurt, following an altercation in West Mifflin. Police got to the scene around 11 o'clock Saturday night at a home on Thompson Run Road. Both victims were found inside of a home. One man was dead. The other was taken to the hospital, is expected to be okay. Both men, police say, were involved in a physical altercation. No word on any charges will be filed. Also, a man is dead after a crash in Westmoreland County. Police say a car rolled over in Cook Township around 8 p.m. Saturday night. The man became trapped underneath and was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the crash is under investigation. A man is dead following a crash involving two motorcycles in Fayette County. Crash happened Saturday morning at the intersection of Route 21 and Lek Road High House Road in McClellantown. Two motorcycles involved. One of the motorcyclists, 25-year-old Delbert Valentine Jr., died at the scene. Cause of the crash is under investigation. Well, the driver who's accused of hitting a man with his vehicle in Uptown early Saturday morning has been identified. Police say 34-year-old Kamal Prasad Upreti appeared to have been under the influence of alcohol when he allegedly struck a man near 5th Avenue and Marion Street around 2:30 Saturday morning. A man later died at the hospital. Police say bystanders caught up with Upreti, who tried to flee the scene. Those bystanders held Upreti until police arrived. Upreti is in the Allegheny County Jail facing multiple charges. Well, Pittsburgh police have announced that a 16-year-old is being charged with the shooting that occurred in East Liberty's Garland Park back in June. Aaron Reddix was arrested a few days after the shooting that left 4 people wounded in East Liberty. Police caught up with Reddix after he was allegedly involved in a carjacking on June 27th. That car crashed along Route 65, and in that incident, police found guns that matched shell casings found in the East Liberty shooting. Reddix is currently in the Allegheny County Jail. Penn State University has suspended a fraternity for a minimum of 4 years following an investigation into hazing allegations. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity was suspended after the university says it received credible reports of hazing that included physical and mental abuse and forced physical activity. Penn State also said students in the fraternity are facing misdemeanor charges under state law that was enacted after a student died in 2017 following hazing incidents by a separate university fraternity. KDK Radio News Time. It's almost 8:03. You know what that means. AccuWeather forecast next.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
Hello, this is Lester Botkin, Chief Investment Officer of Botkin Family Wealth Management, where I work with my dad Les and my sister Sarah. It's a big summer for golf here in Pittsburgh, and it was exciting watching the pros at Oakmont. The most exciting round I ever watched in my life, though, was back in 1992 when my dad got to play the opening round at Nevillewood with Jack Nicklaus. There was a gallery of thousands, and I knew Dad was nervous. On number 10, he hit his drive into a sand trap. His next shot landed in another trap beside the green. I was 12 years old, and my heart dropped to my stomach. I remember Dad saying that morning that his number one goal that day was not to make a fool of himself in front of Nicklaus and the club membership. I then watched Dad blast it out of the sand right into the hole for a birdie. The crowd roared. Dad finished with a 73 to Nicklaus's 72. I was so happy and proud. My dad's always been a guy who stays positive and focused on goals. Those qualities make him a fantastic financial advisor and a role model for me. Find out more about our family-owned firm at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sun and humid conditions with a thunderstorm around into the evening hours, any of which may bring gusty winds and cause ponding on roadways, high 85. Tonight turns out partly cloudy with a low of 62, followed by less humidity and clouds and sun tomorrow, high 82. Then warmer Tuesday with a shower and thunderstorm around, high 87. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
All right, so the Breakfast of Champions today. If you're watching the stream, Metropolitan Window video screen, kdkradio.com, click on KDK Watch, our YouTube channel. I just gave Frank some of my pretzels that I always have handy. But today we're living large because it's all local and you can pick it up at Coons Market. Bellevue Spicy Brown Mustard. So I know you've had it before, but that hits the spot, does it not?
It sure does. That is my spicy mustard that I buy for home.
Really?
Yeah. It's a nice size squeeze bottle. It's not overly large, and just a nice flavor to it, and that Bob Fawcett Company, which is the makers of the Bellevue products, just the great people to deal with. A wide variety of items, not just pickles, not just, pickled cauliflower and all that, but, pancake syrup. They make good pancake syrup. They make I like their steak sauce better than I like A1. It's about half the price, so it's a double whammy there. It's better,
so
better than just being good.
Today we're talking veggies from the garden, but veggies in general, and I love the veggies that we have at Coons Market. But this is one of my latest. I get broccoli, I get cauliflower, I get carrots, and I get jalapeno mustard from Bellevue, and let the dipping begin. What an incredible, explosive flavor of deliciousness that is. Veggies in their jalapeno mustard Bellevue.
Oh, yeah. Veggies are great for dips and all that. It's a good replacement. I use cucumbers as a replacement for potato chips. Yeah, you don't get the saltiness, but you can get, your favorite dip and cut the calories way back. A nice hummus dip is one that I kind of like with it. But, you can pick up some of the hell of a good ones if you want something heartier towards the ranch side. They have a whole bunch of different flavors. Just taking up slices of cucumber and mixing it in with a blend of sour cream and ranch, and maybe even some onions, a little bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of dill. Added into there gives you a great flavor as well. And talking about gardens this week, we carry a lot of locally grown vegetables that in our stores, probably more than most. We have different farmers that we deal with every year. We've built up great relationships. John Clemens Jr., which is John Clemens Sr.'s son, focuses on that now as his father has moved up in the company, and really have continued the success that we've had, and we're really grateful for their family. And again, a younger gentleman moving his way up from the company. He always loved produce. He's worked in produce in our stores all the way through, so far all the way through, and just really enjoys it, looking for new products and things that the younger crowd, the millennial group, what the Gen Z group are looking for, not just, things that have changed, things that are up and coming, things that they find to be healthier, which is a trend towards healthier.
Right.
And with our locally grown, like we got this week, we have green peppers, we have slicing tomatoes, Pennsylvania sweet yellow onions, large select cucumbers, zucchini, yellow squash, the sweet bicolor corn, all locally grown, plus more when you go in the store, and we do have cabbage too on sale this week, locally grown, 49 cents a pound. These are supporting your local farmers. These guys go through a lot, especially right now without the rain. So, supporting them so they can make it through, and you get healthier products that aren't full of all the pesticides and herbicides that the commercial huge farms are going to use.
All right, let me set the stage here. It's all about cleaning up that garden, stuff from your garden, stuff from the produce department at Coons Market, pot of vegetable soup or a vegetable tray. It doesn't matter. We want to talk vegetables, and we are going to take every single person's name, address, and your serial number as well, too. We want to know everything about you, and just before the show is over, we draw a lucky winner, and that person gets a $25 gift certificate. But here is how it works. You got to call with some sort of veggie recipe. So it is very simple. 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. So let me begin the festivities by talking about don't be afraid to mix and match. And we're going to begin with something Frankie is famous for. Let's talk about roasting vegetables. Frankie.
Yeah, whether you're roasting them in the oven or if you're roasting them on your grill. You know, in a grill, what I do is take a foil, 2 pieces usually, a little bit of butter, a little bit of garlic. You can buy the minced garlic already in the jar. You can buy some already peeled garlic cloves. Add a little pot of parsley in there. It's really more for color and just a little bit of sweet tartness into it as well. And cut up your favorite vegetables and put it in there. Don't forget either Parmesan or Romano cheese too. But you go and put that in that, lay it on your foil, put that into there with those the wet ingredients, and then you take that other set of foil and you seal the top of it, and you can actually poke a little holes if they're steaming. But I usually leave the holes away because I like the vegetables make sure they're soft enough when they're grilling, and you can make everything you need. You know, you can cook some burgers, you can grill up some steaks, you can grill up some chicken, you can grill up whatever. You might have some vegetable kebabs that you're also grilling up and go with that. But that side can sit there more on indirect heat, and you'll see it puff up, you know. And if it's starting to puff too big, you get a little worried, put a hole in there to make sure that it does vent. But you can really make some nice products doing it that way. Zucchini, you can grill it, slice it long ways, grill it, and then you can marinate it in some Italian dressing and have a nice grilled zucchini. Mix both the yellow squash and the zucchini, and you get a nice colorful plate. You can even throw in some sauteed onions in along with it. Use that same grilling packet. You can make those onions alongside with it and throw those into that marinade. Will give it a nice dressing. So you just take it out and you can enjoy it just like that. There's a lot you can do.
Of all these vegetables, what are some of your favorites to roast? Brussels sprouts, asparagus, carrots, cauliflower, and sweet potatoes.
For roasting, I'm going to like the asparagus. I'm never really the biggest fan of asparagus until I actually threw them on the grill. Get a balsamic glaze, has a little more sweetness to it than tartness, but still has that tartness in the background, and just spread that. So I'll take it, I'll spray them with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, put them on the grill, and let them go, and just keep rolling them randomly. You know, there's no real time frame unless when you take a fork, they're soft enough at the thickest part of the stem, and then you can enjoy them from there. But after they come off, I put that glaze on there. It just seems to stay on better. You get more of that flavor. I'm a flavor guy. I want to have that flavor. I want that seasoning to really pop and really enhance that vegetable. Cooking Brussels sprouts, I'll usually have out. I don't usually cook them at home. They stink. Let's just face it. They smell like cabbage. I'd rather not smell up the house in the summer. You know, in the winter it's different, but in the summer so if you split those in half and roast them, you can put them in the broiler in the oven. You can put them on the grill a little bit messier. It might fall apart a little bit. So it works best as roasting. You can also parboil them first before you slice and roast them, make it a little bit easier. And again, that same balsamic glaze on top. Or you can take a dressing, you know, or a regular marinade, an oil-based marinade. Lawry's has a bunch of marinades you can do, and marinate them overnight, and they get even a whole different flavor. It just kind of all goes together, then get some of that intense taste that you might get from some Brussels sprouts and brings it down. You know, again, that was another one I was never a fan of growing up. We didn't have them at home because my dad hated Brussels sprouts, so we never had them at home. But they became popular here probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and just trying them in one of the restaurants, even where they sauteed them with a little bit of bacon. Bacon makes it better. Really, it's that fat in that bacon, that pork fat, that really gives it that flavor. And you don't have to put a lot. It's just enough to get a little bit of a flavor into it. as well, and another great item.
All right, listen, coming up, we're going to talk some sautéing. We're going to talk soups and stews. We've got salads, even preserving these great vegetables, putting them in that can and enjoying them all year long. But we want you to participate. Your favorite veggie recipes, and obviously cleaning out the garden, but also from those great produce departments of those 8 locally owned, independently operated neighborhood grocers, Coons Market of Pittsburgh Tradition. So get on the line. First come, first serve. We'll get you on the air, and you'll get qualified to possibly be that lucky listener at the end of the hour that's going to take home a $25 gift certificate for simply participating in the show. 866-391-1020. Your calls, recipes, moments away. Coons Cooking Hour. Veggies today on KDKA.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Pirie, coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Clean it up and cleaning out the garden. Veggie recipes today. We're going to get to sautéing, soup, stews, and more, and salads. We'd love to hear from you and all the great veggies that you can find fresh every day at a Coons Market near you. It's 866-391-1020. You have some lines open, so if you want to get in with those recipes, now's the time to do it. Keith joins us up first on KDKA. Good morning, Keith.
Rob, Frank, Miss Big Joe. But still love the show.
What's going on, Keith?
Oh, man, it's just another great day to be alive.
Amen.
In the golden era of Trump world.
I was just telling Frankie you were lighting the phones up yesterday. Anyway, what's on your mind in the way of recipes today? Roasted vegetables. Go ahead.
Yeah, roast. Speaking of roast, I'll tell you, when you guys are going, you're planning the show and thinking about what to have a good show, what would make a good show, we ought to have a show about roasting Rob.
You mean like the Looney Tune commercials, put me in the pot of water? Or you mean like
Dino used to roast
all those people? Yeah, those were great, man. I love them.
Is it true, Rob, your favorite, you like to drink, not drink, but you like your can ham and beans hobo style?
Yeah, man. Used to love that as a kid. out of the mess kit. Absolutely, man.
That's it. I've done it myself.
Listen, I'll tell you a quick story. So it was a hot summer day. Mom and Dad were somewhere, and my buddy and I were hanging out, and we were starving, and it was in between paydays, and there was nothing but stuff in the pantry. So we decided to get out the big jars of Campbell's baked beans, and we got the tablespoon, went out under the big maple tree in the back, got a can opener, and sat and ate nothing but beans for like an hour. So needless to say...
stay out of indoors for a little while.
It got a little interesting, but I could handle it as a young kid. But, we had fun, man, on those hot summer days. When you think about the food, a lot of it was the vegetables that was coming out of the neighbor's garden. You were, playing a pickup game of baseball, whatever. You'd walk into somebody's garden. There'd be an ear of corn there. You'd eat it raw. There'd be some carrots there. You'd clean them off. You'd eat it, get the garden hose, maybe a cucumber or two. So we ate a lot of that gardening stuff, no doubt about it. Anything else, Keith?
In the little town that I grew up in, there was a main street, and, there was a vegetable store, I still remember going in, my mom taking me in there. She's picking out tomatoes. The guy had everything, and it was, it was great. It was good old times back then.
Where'd you grow up at, Keith? Glen Willard?
Huh?
Where'd you grow up? Glen Willard? Coriopolis? Where?
No, I told you, Armstrong County.
Oh, because you're in Moon now. Okay, I thought you grew up around there. Okay.
I just say I'm from Moon. That's my handle, Keith from Moon.
As in
the
Keith?
drummer for the Doors.
From the Moon. He's not talking Township.
He was the drummer for the Who. Okay, I got you.
That's my handle.
I got you. Okay, man. Listen, you have a great day, okay?
Hey, you guys got a great show. Yeah, I love you guys. Bye.
All right, man. Keith Moon, that's a perfect name for him. Perfect name for him. By the way, speaking of the Who, they're like 80 now, Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey.
I'm sure they're still playing.
This is their last tour. They said that.
They said all.
Yeah. This is positively, unequivocally our last tour.
That's like the Rolling Stones. They just keep on coming.
Oh, my goodness gracious. They'll never end, man. That's because they eat all that produce from Doug Oster's garden.
That's something, people. They're still popular all the way through all these years, through generations.
And one of their very first shows was at the old Westview Park, not too far from here.
I remember that growing up. I don't remember the park being open.
You weren't
I remember
alive.
the coaster. My mom would tell me about the one, I think it was a Demon Curve or whatever it was.
Roller coaster.
Someone fell off, closed it, and that was it.
Yeah. James Brown, they all played there. All right. It's about veggies today. So as we arrange some more calls, let's talk about sautéing vegetables. What exactly and how do you do that? Go ahead.
Oh, that's a frying pan. So just a little bit of oil. You don't want to overdo it on oil, and taking your favorite vegetables, empty out, take your stuff out of the garden. You start cutting it up and just sautéing it real quick. You can use the salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, bringing those flavors out, the sweetness and strength of the garlic. Just really kind of enhances everything. Just sauté it, a little bit of oil. You can add a little bit of butter in with it while you're sautéing it. I wouldn't do it right at the beginning, but about halfway through so you don't burn the butter. But just a quick sauté, really fast, so just keep that pan out. When you're cooking inside, you throw something in the oven, an entree, whether it's chicken or whatever, a nice casserole, and then sautéing up some vegetables. Or you can go to more of the Asian style where you're doing a quick stir fry, really, where you're doing the stir frying the chicken. I do the vegetables separate because they cook different times, season them different. Soy sauce is definitely in there, and giving it a nice flavor, and using the rice vinegar instead of just a regular vinegar. Gives it, again, another sweetness above and beyond too. And quick, it's the hardest part of that is cutting the vegetables, and do what I did growing up. I was the one who cut the vegetables because my mom said that she's done her time, so put your kids to work, cut some vegetables, teach them how to use a knife first, teach them not to cut it on metal plates or anything like that, and how to keep their fingers back so they don't cut themselves. But it can be something that's enjoyable. They feel like they feel like they're contributing because they are contributing, and trust me, later down in life, it comes in handy when the rest of their friends can't cook, and here they are, being able to cook, and they're self-sufficient.
Good stuff. All right, don't forget all sorts of great things as those kids getting ready to head back to school. Healthy stuff, too, like sweet blueberries, 1-pint package, $1.77 each. Can't beat that with that Coons reward card. Talking veggies from the garden, and, of course, from the great produce departments that we have at all of our 8 locally owned and independently operated neighborhood grocers. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. Here's Bud up on Mount Washington. Hey, Bud, welcome to the Coons Cooking Hour. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. This is a quick recipe when, there are times when you just don't feel like putting in, the energy. So I take a can of Progresso lentil beans. I take a pouch of rice, specifically rice with mushrooms. I think Mrs. Grass or any of those. And just a small can of additional mushrooms. So you stir up the rice in the frying pan, and what you're going to do is use some of that the juice from the can of the mushrooms in there as part of the water, and of course it asks for butter, etc. And just follow those directions. Then you add the mushrooms in the Progresso soup. It's that easy, and it's a very nice dish.
Yeah, it turns it more like a stew almost, getting closer to like a stew texture to that. Yeah, definitely add the mushrooms in because even those rice packets, they're not going to have much in there. And if you're like me, I enjoy some good mushrooms. They really soak up the flavor of anything you put with them and just intensifies what you're eating.
All right, good stuff. We appreciate you, Bud. Call again. Diane in Valencia is coming up in just a couple of moments. We've got room for you. It's all about veggies, and veggies, whether it's from your garden or our produce department. Cooking with veggies. We haven't even got to soups and stews yet or salads. So give us some of your thoughts. 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020 is the number to dial. And some lucky listener is going to take home a $25 gift certificate before the show is up. So that's all coming up. Hey, Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service next hour. Large trees, are they beneficial or problematic? What should you do? Trim, remove, treat. We're going to talk to Carlos coming up in just a little bit. And don't forget, you're going to have a chance to phone in and get all your tree-related questions answered. Just Carlos coming up from Greater Pitt Tree Service today on KDKA.
UPMC is one of the largest and most experienced heart transplant programs in the state, offering hope for even the most complex cases.
Because of the expertise that exists here at UPMC, it allows us to take on patients that have been turned down at other centers. It's extremely rewarding to be able to transplant patients that are on death's door. It's the closest thing I think we have in medicine to a miracle.
Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, and National Geographic photographer Christina Mittermeier. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 74 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. One man is dead, another is hurt following an altercation that occurred Saturday night in West Mifflin. Police got to the scene around 11 o'clock at a home on Thompson Run Road. Both victims were found inside of a home. One man was dead. The other man was taken to the hospital, is expected to be okay. Police say both were involved in a physical altercation. No word on if any charges will be filed. Also, a man is dead after a crash in Westmoreland County. Police say a car rolled over in Cook Township around 8 p.m. On Saturday, the man was trapped underneath. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Cause of the crash is under investigation. A shooting at a Brooklyn, New York nightclub has left 3 people dead, 8 others injured. CBS News New York City reporter Zinnia Maldonado is there.
Police say at 3:27 a.m., a 911 call, they received multiple 911 calls, in fact, regarding a shooting inside the lounge, Taste of the City. Police say officers arrived within minutes and they found numerous victims. Again, 11 victims ranging from the ages of 27 years old up to 61 years old. It was 8 men, 3 women. The 3 victims that have been pronounced dead are all men.
A man is dead following a crash involving 2 motorcycles in Fayette County. That crash happened Saturday morning at the intersection of Route 21 and Leckrone High House Road in McClellantown. One of the motorcyclists, 25-year-old Delbert Valentine Jr., died at the scene. Cause of the crash is under investigation. Pittsburgh police announced that a 16-year-old male is being charged with the mass shooting that occurred in East Liberty's Garland Park back in June. Aaron Reddix was arrested a few days after the shooting that left 4 people wounded. Police caught up with Reddix after he was allegedly involved that day in a carjacking. That was on June 27th. The car crashed along Route 65, and in that incident, police found guns and matched shell casings found in the East Liberty shooting. Reddix is in the Allegheny County Jail. KDK Radio News Time is 8:32. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Don't let summer slip away. Your last-minute summer adventure at Deep Creek Lake is here. Upgrade your getaway to a luxury SWAC Vacations Lodge with its own private indoor pool, a hidden speakeasy, even a private lazy river. Book any 3-night stay before Labor Day. Get $500 off. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, a massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone, and many more great destinations. Visit swacvacations.com. Use code LAKE500. Claim your $500 discount.
I'm with Rocco Florio of AirPro Heating and Cooling, a trusted HVAC company that carries quality Bryant products and serves the entire Pittsburgh area. Rocco, what's up on prices for furnaces and air conditioning equipment?
Larry, it's best for people to purchase now, as equipment prices are going up in the coming months. AirPro takes pride in our prices. We are lower than the competition and provide financing options and long warranties.
Call AirPro Heating and Cooling today at 800-749-0642. Bryant, whatever it takes.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sun with the risk for a thunderstorm through the evening. Any storm may bring ponding on roadways and gusty winds with a high of 85. Then some clouds tonight, low 62, followed by a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, high 82. Tuesday brings a shower and thunderstorm and warmer conditions with some sun, high 87. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, let's go top to bottom. We've got some phones wanting to talk to the troops here today. Let's go to Diane in Valencia. Diane, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Doing fabulous. How are you today?
Good, good. Always good. Always good to hear from you.
Well, you have the topic of heart. As you know, I love my vegetables. So this is actually a recipe I just made for a friend this week where, if you have some pita bread at home, that's fabulous. If not, you can also use some pizza rounds or even soft taco tortilla flats. Toast that up a little bit. Grab a jar, or you can make of your own, of a sweet red pepper bruschetta spread. If you don't have a jar handy, just take some of those bell peppers you have, roast them up, throw them in the food processor with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper, spread that on it, and then you're going to Rob, all those favorite broccoli and cauliflower snippets that you got, as you guys were saying earlier. Once you roast them up, broach up a bunch, keep it in containers, and you can use it for a variety of recipes. With this, you're going to take that roasted broccoli and cauliflower, toss that on top of the bruschetta spread, saute up some spinach, and you got some fabulous mushrooms on sale this week. Spread that on top. Get a jar of artichokes, dice it up, top it on that. If you're a favorite of onion, saute up some onion, green pepper, add that on top. And you can top it off with a mozzarella provolone mixture, or even feta works great. Put it in an oven at about 400 for about 5 to 10 minutes, just till the cheese melts or to your liking, and you're set to go. And another quick tip is when you're roasting up your vegetables or the broccoli and cauliflower, put some garlic, minced garlic on it, or some seasoned salt to add a little bit of flavor to it. And if you do it on the tortilla, you can do it up as a roll as well too. But it's a great new twist with the roasted vegetables, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, definitely a healthier recipe as well, and lighter for how hot it's been outside. Sometimes lunchtime's got to be something light, too heavy, and you're just too much on your body. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with the rounds, like I said, with the pita, you can easily put that in your toaster oven, or if you decide to make a bunch at one time, putting them on a cookie sheet, then they're ready to go. Just put them with some wax paper in plastic baggies, put them in the freezer, and you'll be set to go for a couple meals or snacks. Cut them into quarters. You can have it as an appetizer too.
Yeah, it's great. Pita bread's one of those. Works as it's a great pocket bread, makes a nice sandwich.
And if
Go ahead, Diane.
Go ahead, Rob, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's, also with the crescent rolls that are on sale this week, $1.99. You can just roll that out straight and flat, put a little bit of seasoning with some Italian seasoning or Greek seasoning. Once that's made, you can also use that as your base. So you guys have a lot of options for us this week. It's fabulous.
Well, definitely the buttery taste of those croissants.
When you think about vegetables, Diane and Frank and our audience, You can do omelets, obviously, in the morning. You can do soup at lunch, soup at dinner. I mean, you can make the salad. Vegetables you can use anytime, day or night, even as a snack on a tray, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's totally healthy. And I couldn't agree more, Frank, about, roasting them up and putting them on your salad. Everybody likes some fresh vegetable, but that little bit of that roasting just adds a little bit of a snap flavor, robust, that is really something different people should try. I love it. That's for sure. And like I said, Rob, with the omelets too, it's great.
Definitely. And if you're looking to clean up extra product from the garden, or you have some extras in the fridge, it works out well. Once it's roasted, you gain some life back in the vegetables. So you can actually set it aside, reheat the next day. Just remembering it's going to be a little bit softer. But if you're putting it on a sandwich, it's more like a relish, and it'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And with I still hold true to with the mushrooms. You got to saute them in butter, and the spinach does well with that too. So you can have the spinach on fresh, but it gives it just that little bit of different flavor essence.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it with pickles? You ever go through these cycles in your life where you just have to have, like my pretzel obsession that I have going now, but boy, there's something about pickles. I just love pickles.
You get that crunch factor in with a different texture in your mouth when you're eating a sandwich, or even eating them plain, just a different texture of what you're eating. The tartness, I mean, they're a healthier item for you. You just have to watch the salt, because, to drain them. Make sure, if you're not, you have to watch the salt. Just careful on the pickle juice part you got. I mean, I know it's going to look low. People say it's good with vinegar, but you have to watch that sodium, making sure that you keep your sodium in check as well. So just be careful about that. But, pickles are great. I like to get those whole pickles, especially if I'm out at a sandwich shop or something. The whole pickles are kosher deals. We sell the whole ones in our deli departments as well.
Hey, listen, Diane, good hearing from you. I hope you have a great week.
Well, thank you. You too, gentlemen. God bless. Take care. Thank you.
There she goes, Diane. Everybody's in this. Even Pamela Anderson, who's in the new Naked Gun movie, was in Baywatch. She's got her own branded pickle out. Everybody's in bars serve pickle juice drinks. I mean, everywhere you go, it's like pickles, pickles, pickles.
Well, even in Pittsburgh, we have the whole pickles festival. Pickleberg. We celebrate the pickle. I'm going to start with the Heinz, of course.
And people play pickleball all the time now.
That's a little different. But there's no pickles involved.
I know. I guarantee you, even though you don't move a lot playing pickleball, you're out there playing it today. You're perspiring.
You're moving enough.
Oh, yeah.
You're moving enough.
All right, listen, let's keep it going. Lots of good calls. Let's go to Pat in Economy on KDKA's Coons Cooking Hour. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. I'm going a little different direction with my zucchini cookies, that I've had this recipe for at least 40 years, but everybody loves it. Anyway, you use a half a cup of butter softened, 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, 1 egg, a half teaspoon of vanilla, 1.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, half teaspoon baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of quick cooking oats, 1 cup shredded zucchini, which I do on the large holes of a box grater, and 1 cup of chopped walnuts, a half cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and a half cup of butterscotch chips. You heat your oven to 350 and cream together the butter and sugar. Add egg and vanilla, and in a separate bowl, mix together the flour, cinnamon, soda, salt, and oats. Gradually add the flour mixture to the butter mixture. You mix in the shredded zucchini, nuts, and chips, and then drop by teaspoonfuls on lightly greased baking sheets, or sometimes I just use either parchment or I use those Silpat sheets, which I love. And you bake in the 350 oven for 8 to 10 minutes, and it makes about 3 dozen cookies. And I like to use sometimes a small scoop. It makes them a little bit bigger. You get a little bit less cookies. But that's my daughter's favorite cookie. I made them a couple weeks ago when she was here visiting from out of state. So
it's like a spin on zucchini bread with some extra stuff in there. That sounds like a great cookie.
Yeah, I mean, you can use zucchini for everything. I mean, I use it for vegetable dishes and, the regular dishes. But there's also a chocolate cake that's wonderful that's made with zucchini, too.
Wow. That's a first. I've never heard of that. But still, fried zucchini and spaghetti sauce. Still.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I debated whether to call in with the zucchini fritters that I make, too. And a lot of people make that. You put cheese and stuff in them. But I thought this is different.
Yeah, it is. I've never heard of it. I never heard of it.
Yeah, well, the recipe is a really old one, but it's a goodie.
Hey, listen.
And sometimes resurrecting some of those recipes, we all know that you can get tired of recipes, and they kind of fall
Especially at
off.
this time of the year when the zucchini's so prolific.
Everyone's trying to give away zucchini because they produce so much and grow fast. So if you can actually enjoy it and be able to make some extra things, those cookies you can put into the freezer, and then pull them out in the middle of winter. You're having fresh zucchini cookies. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey,
absolutely.
Thank you for that call, Pat. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, short break. We'll come back. We've got Chuck and Shaler. We've got Fran and Moon. We've got Dan in Washington. And we're going to draw some lucky listener's name before the hour is up. And that person is going to win themselves a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market, that special place in your neighborhood. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. All right, coming up, it's Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Large trees, are they beneficial or problematic? What should you do? Trim, remove, or treat? Get those calls ready. Free advice from the pro that is Carlos at Greater Pitt Tree Service in the 9 o'clock hour today with your Pratt Pack on KDKA.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. 90th anniversaries are a big deal. That's why AARP is joining forces with Social Security to celebrate its 90th anniversary. So what does that mean to you? Well, there are going to be free events throughout the area where you can win some prizes, learn more about Social Security, and find out what AARP is doing to help you. So how do you get more information? It's real simple. Go to aarp.org/local.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there's a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, here we go. Chuck in Shaler, roasted cauliflower. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Good to hear you guys every Sunday. I enjoy the show. Before I get to my recipe, you was just talking about pickles. I ate a couple every day during the work week in the summertime, just for the salt.
Yeah.
I purposely, because I sweat, my shirt will be, you see all the salt marks on it, so I don't want to run out of salt in my body, so I eat them for the sodium on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if you're supposed to, I mean, you have to have salt in your body. That's what keeps you hydrated. You know, the salt absorbs it, keeps the liquids in, and keeps you nice and hydrated. Plus, it's good for mental health and all that. You need that sodium. You know.
Well, my wife probably says I need more pickles then. Eat a whole jar, Chuck. Yeah, I just like getting a big head of cauliflower, break it up, a little olive oil, just a shade of salt, and cook it in the pan on the grill, because you want it to brown up a little bit on the top. And I'll put just like a little bit of beer on the bottom just to keep the pan moist. I mean, that's almost like a meal.
Cauliflower it's hearty like that, you know. So that gives
and
you.
Even if you get like,
go ahead.
My wife will get the rice cauliflower, and she'll make buffalo chicken dip out of it, and that's really good too.
Well, there you go. That'd be good too.
I did have a question for you, Frank. Why is shishito peppers and like the white salt potatoes not popular in this area? Anytime I go anywhere around out of the neighborhood, I can find them, but this doesn't seem to be real popular around here.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that's all you had was them white potatoes, you know?
Yeah, the white potatoes are less popular anymore. I don't know why. We can still, bring some in, but it's a harder one to sell. I mean, that's a Pennsylvania potato, and this is actually about the time of year they would come in. Maybe a little bit later here, they'd have the new white potato. I remember them, the new white potatoes, and they were in the paper bags. And
yes, I love
love those. I'm going to talk to my produce guys. They're the specialists, and see what's going on with the white potatoes. What was the other item? I'm sorry, I talked too much potatoes.
Shishito peppers.
The shishito
peppers.
Yeah, that's just. Everybody look for peppers are looking for the newest and the greatest, and then it goes away after like 6 months, and then you get some that are good and then just fall off for whatever reason.
They are fantastic on the grill.
Yeah,
they're so easy and yeah, it just like I went over to visit my daughter in Bell Vernon last week, and every store had them. My wife was happy; she bought like 10 bags.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's another one I'll have to look into. Again, I use my specialist because I'll never claim to know it all, But life isn't about knowing everything. Life is knowing where to get that answer. Everyone has their specialty, so I'm gonna.
Well, that's why I asked the big boss.
That's right. That's where I'm going to go, where my information comes from, right from the source that does the buying. So we'll take a look.
All right, Chuck.
Yeah, but if we had a chance to get them in, try them out. They're really good.
Yeah, I'm real curious about
guys.
those white potatoes. But yeah, I know I can get the white potatoes. I really want to check out.
Yeah, they're good.
Always good hearing from you, Chuck.
Same here, Rob.
All right, my man.
Bye now.
Be good. Be safe out there. Yeah, these people who are delivering packages, Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, it's warm out there, man.
Oh, you go into those FedEx and the UPS and even the post office, the U.S. Post Office trucks, the ones before they started replacing with these new ones, those older ones, none of them have air conditioning. They have these little doors on the side that catch the wind going by and blow at them. So,
right.
You see your guys coming up to or lady coming up to the door, drop off a package, and you see them, grab a bottle of water, get them something cold to drink. I guarantee they'll appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to Fran Moon. Wants to talk eggplant. Hey, Fran.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
How are you guys doing?
Really good.
Good. Well, this is easy, and you can use everything from your garden. I like to call it eggplant pizza, actually. And you need grated cheese, eggs, half a cup of chopped parsley, 1 eggplant, and about 10 slices of tomato. So you mix your cheese. I use any kind of grated cheese, eggs, and parsley. And I use more than 1 egg because I like a lot of topping on it. So you slice the eggplant about 1/4 of an inch, butter a pan like a cookie sheet, and arrange the slices on the sheet. And then on each zucchini round, you're going to spread the egg mixture. Put that on there, a dab of butter, and a slice of tomato. I like to put a little slice of provolone. I cut it in half and put that on there too. So after you get the tomato on there, I put a little bit more grated cheese, bake for 300 degrees for 1 hour. I'll tell you what, delicious. Then if there's leftover, you put them in the fridge. My kids used to just eat those for breakfast cold because it's one piece, like you hold it in your hand and it's like a piece of pizza. So that's that. And you guys were talking about sprouts, Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Yes.
I know they stink, but if I haven't made them for a while, but my family loves them. So I used to roast them. And then after they're cooked in a frying pan, you put them in the pan with honey and white sesame seeds. Just toss them around.
Uh-huh.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah, add that sweetness. And that's probably the key to getting some of that strong flavor down.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And they're really good. You just toss them and, heat them up in the frying pan a little bit, and it coats them. And it's healthy.
Yeah, there's a lot of local honey around right now, too. So big idea to pick some of that up. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
exactly.
Thank you for the call, Fran.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a great day. We appreciate you. We're going to come back, draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate. Then after the news with Rob at 9, Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. So any tree-related questions, you better start dialing soon. 866-391-1020.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
KDKA TV, Barry Pintar. And as we get ready to transition to the fall, you did a story that involves Pittsburgh Brewing.
We saw on the line coming out the Blockhouse Pumpkin Ale, which has just exploded in popularity. It's like the #1 pumpkin ale in this part of the country right now.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. With over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com today.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Burgh with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. New York style, yins are made. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. August 23rd, experience a celebration of unity, creativity, and community with Building Bridges Day on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. Help paint a collaborative mural and enjoy live performances, family yoga, kids activities, and more. One bridge, one day, countless connections. Details at whammo1073.com.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is time for us to draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate, and the winner is...
This week's winner is Fran from Moon.
Fran from Moon, congratulations. You've won yourself a $25 gift certificate to enjoy at one of your 8 locally owned and independently operated Coons Markets. Now, 1 week from today, August 24th, one of my favorite topics, because you can slice it, you can dice it, you can mash it. You can simply get it as a little fry at your neighborhood fast food restaurant. We're talking potatoes. You can even do home fries in a cast iron skillet. There isn't anything you can do with a potato, especially those famous Idaho potatoes that are sold in the produce department every day. Somewhere, someone right now at a Coons Market is throwing a bag of them into their grocery cart. Frank?
Yeah, the possibilities are limitless. You know, just roasting them, throwing them on the grill, doing, like you said, a mashed potato, potato salads, all different kind of things. Even the instant potatoes, using them in ingredients and casseroles to be able to use as a thickener, so you're not adding anything that's more processed into it. So it's more of a natural. You know, those are just very versatile, and we'll talk about it next week and be glad to hear some of the different recipes people have.
All right, Frank, again, this week's winner is...
This week's winner is Fran from Moon.
All right, Fran, congratulations. You are the winner. Again, I want to remind everyone that you just simply have to join us every week with a recipe. We'll draw some lucky listener's name at the end of the hour to get a $25 gift certificate and with that Coons Reward Card in Everyday Essentials, that product, our private label. You put a little list together, you're going to be able to get so much for that. You're always saving. You're always getting great products because our employees care about you. It is Coons Market, that special place in your neighborhood. Coons Market. Say it with me, a Pittsburgh tradition. News next.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is dead following a crash that occurred in Westmoreland County. Police say Saturday night around 8 o'clock, a car rolled over in Cook Township. Man was trapped underneath and pronounced dead at the scene. Cause of the crash is under investigation. In West Mifflin, a man is dead and others hurt following an altercation there. Police got to the scene around 11 o'clock Saturday night at a home on Thompson Run Road. Both victims were inside of a home. One man was found dead. The other was taken to the hospital, is expected to be okay. Both men involved in a full physical altercation, according to police. No word on if any charges will be filed. Well, Pittsburgh police have announced that a 16-year-old is being charged with a mass shooting that occurred in East Liberty's Garland Park back in June. Aaron Reddix was arrested a few days after the shooting that left 4 people wounded. Police caught up with Reddix after he was allegedly involved in a carjacking on June 27th. The car crashed along Route 65. In that incident, police found guns that matched shell casings found in the East Liberty shooting. Reddix is now in the Allegheny County Jail. The driver who's accused of hitting a man with his vehicle in Uptown early Saturday morning has been identified. Police say 34-year-old Kamal Prasad Upreti appeared to have been under the influence of alcohol when he allegedly struck a man near 5th Avenue and Marion Street around 2:30 Saturday morning. A man later died at the hospital. Police say bystanders caught up with Upreti, who tried to flee the scene. Those bystanders held Upreti until police arrived in Uptown. Upreti is now in the Allegheny County Jail facing multiple charges. A shooting at a Brooklyn nightclub in New York has left 3 people dead, 8 others injured. Here's CBS News New York City reporter Zinnia Maldonado.
Police say at 3:27 a.m., a 911 call. They received multiple 911 calls, in fact, regarding a shooting inside the lounge, Taste of the City. Police say officers arrived within minutes and they found numerous victims. Again, 11 victims ranging from the ages of 27 years old up to 61 years old. It was 8 men, 3 women. The 3 victims that have been pronounced dead are all men.
KDK Radio News Time 9:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Long live the king. Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival, just southeast of Pittsburgh, is back. August 23rd and 24th is opening weekend. It's entertainment. It's fantasy.
It's an adventure. To the past.
filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. At the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets available at PittsburghRenFest.com.
The heat of the summer is still here, and so are those hot savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. All natural pork baby back ribs, $2.99 a pound. Sweet blueberries, 1 pint package, $1.77 each. And selected varieties of San Giorgio pasta, 12 to 16 ounce boxes, 88 cents each. Additional savings in our meat department. USDA Choice Porterhouse for T-bone steaks, $10.99 a pound. And farm-raised fresh salmon steaks, $10.99 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown green peppers, $1.59 a pound. And locally grown sweet bicolor corn, 6 for $3. In our deli department, Silver Star chipped ham, $4.99 a pound. And Coons deep fried turkey breast is $9.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Peter Pan peanut butter, 16.3 ounce jars, 2 for $5.
So get in on these hot savings now at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Can't make it to the big game or local event? Don't let your seats go to waste. Make a difference with those tickets and donate them to Tickets for Kids charities who will put a kid in need in our community in your seats. What you'll give is so much more than a ticket, but an opportunity for a kid to see a bigger world and their place in it. All thanks to your donation. Learn more about how you can make a tax-deductible donation of cash or tickets at ticketsforkids.org. That's ticketsforkids.org.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sun and humid conditions with a thunderstorm around into the evening hours, any of which may bring gusty winds and cause ponding on roadways, high 85. Tonight turns out partly cloudy with a low of 62, followed by less humidity and clouds and sun tomorrow, high 82. Then warmer Tuesday with a shower and thunderstorm around, high 87. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Services back 412-884-TREE, and I suggest you get on the phones early because they always seem to pick up later in the show, and that means you're going to get left out. So call us right now if you have a tree-related question, 866-391-1020. And we always try to bring something topical to the show, too. So just the other day when he let me know what the topic was going to be today, I thought, boy, what a great way to talk about how you can protect your home, your family. And now with the warm weather, summer, no crazy weather-related incidents like snow, rain, sleet that the fall will bring just around the bend. The leaves, of course, will start to fall. Now is the time that you want to check the perimeter, get Troy out there, get Carlos out there, get Greater Pitt Tree Service out there, because large trees are beneficial, yes, but some say problematic. We're going to take care of both of those situations by telling you what you should do when it comes to trimming, removing, or treating a tree. So those large trees we're focusing in on today. So if you have a question, get on the line, 866-391-1020. So this is the good, the bad, and the ugly, is it not? Good morning, Carlos.
Yeah, there's a lot involved in that. And first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on KDK. Again, we love doing the show. Great weekend in Pittsburgh, too. The Bloomfield Little Italy Days. I saw you were there.
Yep.
And we also have a booth there. We've been setting up our booth there for 7 or 8 years now. And we love being out there, and all the listeners come up. They see our booth. They want to talk about trees. And so it's great just being on the show. But, yeah, the big trees, I brought up that topic because so many of our calls and our jobs are related to these huge trees, close proximity to your house. The age of the trees are usually at the shelf life of a planted tree. There's a lot of liability issues, and we come out there and kind of play devil's advocate. We assess the condition of the tree, the species, the age, look for any previous breaks or talk to the homeowner about any large limbs that might have come down in the storms. So we use all that information to kind of recommend a lot of times I put myself in the homeowner's position, like, what would I do if I had this big tree on my property? So we give them the information, we kind of see what they respond to and give them some options related to all that.
All right, so we have a lot to get to today, so we'd love to hear from you. But tell everybody what you are working on right now this time of year. What's seasonal, and what are some of the cleanups that you are working on at Greater Pitt? And I'm sure there are people out there that can deal with the same thing at their property and how you can be a big help to them. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yes, our jobs are a mixture of the calls we get. We're actually still getting calls from all the storms we had that they had a tree come down in the yard or on the property. It wasn't a big priority. Maybe they were traveling during the summer and just now addressing it. So we're still getting calls related to all those big storms we had at the late spring, early summer. And then now we're getting calls because, it feels like summer's almost over and people that have trees on their property know what needs to be done in the fall. Late fall and early winter is when we can trim certain types of trees, like the big oak trees on your property or any fruit-bearing or flowering trees. So, and our schedule is usually 4 to 6 weeks out, and people know that, so they call ahead of time and they want to get on the schedule to do a big oak prune on their property or trim some other trees that they know we have to do while they're dormant.
All right, we have so much to get to. We've got some calls rolling in right now. We're going to get to them in a moment. Tell everybody a little bit about your company, then I got some questions for you, and we're going to get some listeners ready to go. Tell everybody about your company.
Yes, I started the company. It was a passion of mine that I enjoyed doing when I was young. I worked for a small company when I was going to college. And we're like KDKA. We're Pittsburgh, man. We just love being out there. I love meeting somebody new every day. We did a job Friday for a listener in Upper St. Clair, and he was just distraught about the situation she had with this large tree, and the borough was kind of pushing her to trim it back from her neighbor's property. So we go out, it's like we solve some problems. It's very goal-oriented, which suits my personality, and I like being competitive, and so it's just great being out there. Our company, this weekend, we're out at Bloomfield Little Italy Days. A couple weeks ago, we were at the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. We do events in Oakmont. So we just love being out there, transparent, visible to all the listeners and all the Pittsburghers out there that need our service.
All right, let's get a call in here. Here's Dorian in McKees Rocks, wants to talk bamboo with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Hey, Dorian, how are you?
Really good, and it's such a good topic. My friend Dano, he's just got an orchard of bamboo in his yard. He said that, and it grows. He tells me this, I believe him, a foot a day with all this rain. And he said once it gets started, man, it takes over. What should he do about it? Because he's up there, he's weed whacking, he's cutting it down, and it's a war, a bamboo war in his yard.
Yeah, we've done a lot of those jobs. There's not much you can do once you plant it other than kind of manage it. It's almost an invasive species, and how fast it does grow and spread. It does have its applications for maybe a barrier on a property line, or to hide certain parts of your property you don't want the neighbors to see, and it's very effective in that regard. But the only bad thing is it just keeps growing and growing. We've done a lot of jobs maintaining it. Yeah, he's got his hands full with that, I'm sure.
Thank you very much for the advice, and I'll pass it along to Danny later on today. I can't wake him up this early. He's a sleeper. But,
yeah, let him sleep in McKees Rocks. Let him get his rest, Dorian.
Anyway, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. So let me talk about the environmental benefits, Carlos, when it comes to these big trees. Reduce air pollution by absorbing harmful pollutants like carbon monoxide. Did a little homework for you today. They mitigate summer heat by providing shade and releasing water vapor through all sorts of incredible things like evaporization, filter storm water, reducing runoff and improving water quality, and provide habitat for wildlife, including birds, insects, and small mammals. But unless you're manicuring these big trees, they become a hazard. But if you stay on top of things, you become a part of that Greater Pitt Tree Service Plan Healthcare. Troy comes out, our certified arborist. You maintain it for every reason and every season. They really are beneficial, are they not?
There are so many benefits to having these trees on or around your property, and a lot of times that's why they were planted. Shade, privacy, to kind of suck up the water out of the ground so you don't have a wet, swampy yard. The reasons for these trees are endless, and we're aware of all that. So when we come out, I can say, yeah, it looks like this tree was planted because you had a kind of low-lying area in your yard and it's soaking up the water. Or this tree was planted to give your house some shade with the way the sun comes up over your property. So, yeah, so many great reasons for having these trees on your property. And then that's where we come in, because they do require a good bit of maintenance, like any other thing in your home that requires maintenance, changing your air filters in your furnace, cleaning out your gutters, taking care of your trees. It all falls in that maintenance as a homeowner that you should be aware of. And that's where we come in. We could let you know, hey, doesn't look like this tree's been thinned out in a long time. Let's get some more sunlight and air passing through it, so there's not a lot of resistance in these violent storms that we have, and you lose a large limb that could potentially hit your home or something on your property. So yeah, we love coming out. It's like we play kind of detective and look at everything and understand why this tree was planted on your property and what to do to keep it there.
All right, listen, he's here until 10 o'clock. The hour will go by quickly. We'd love to hear from you. That number is 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020, and you can reach them at Greater Pitt Tree Service by dialing 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Large trees, are they beneficial or problematic? What you should do when it comes to trimming, removing, and treating. But any tree-related questions, we want to hear from you. Come on, let's get going. 866-391-1020. Back with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service in just a couple of minutes on KDKA.
Your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
ABC Transit is urgently hiring for CDL and van drivers. Current sign-on bonus for Class B with S&P endorsements is $2,500. Van drivers get a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Complete their CDL program and earn up to $1,000 in additional bonuses. Safety and attendance bonuses available. You must be able to pass all background and clearance checks, must be drug-free. 9 locations in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties. Apply in person. Call 724-831-8500.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. He's here till 10. Your questions are welcome. It's 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733 to get in touch with them. You can get in touch with us right now at 866-391-1020. So the key is there are a lot of benefits to having these larger trees, but the big key is to get that plant health care in which they're out there on a regular basis. No matter the season, whatever the reason, they're there. They get out in front of stuff early by just giving those regular checkups. More importantly, we've got our certified arborist, Troy, does such an incredible job. So you should call and set up for that by dialing 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But here's another added bonus for having these large trees, and something I was unaware of, but it enhances the beauty value of your property, which I do know. But here's the one that really caught my eye, Carlos. Reduce energy consumption by shading buildings, lowering cooling costs. So shading your house is really beneficial to your pocketbook. Never realized that.
Yes, for sure. I mean, the trees that can provide that shade so the sun's not beating down on your black shingle roof and like almost cooking the inside of your house with the heat we've had this summer especially. So, a lot of times the trees are beneficial in that way and can, save you money on in your heating and cooling costs. But you can transfer that money into making sure you maintain that tree and trim it so it can last. So kind of offsets, and the reason it's there, we can keep it there for that reason.
All right, so listen, because you're a city guy, and I definitely promote you whenever I can. I was talking to you and others about this city for years, and you've been with me now for quite some time too, but you grew up in Greenfield, whether it's the Hill District, South Side, North Side, or spending time in Bloomfield, where I have been for decades. So I was thinking about you yesterday. You have the stand there, and I was just, all these things swirling through my brain. Have you ever thought about the immigrants who came here, or those who were born here, 100 years ago, when there weren't people like you rolling around in these incredible trucks, and they had to take care of all of their own trees and their property, and they had to learn how they, as they went, because many of them were steel workers, they were entrepreneurs, they had retail spaces, they had restaurants. Think about the knowledge and what those people who lived in Bloomfield 100 years ago, 50 years ago, before they had the talent of people like you. These trees kept growing because they learned on the job, meaning by taking care of their own property. They had to, right?
Yeah, those original Pittsburghers, they were definitely a breed apart. I mean, I also think about sometimes I was up in Troy Hill the other day,
wow,
and I'm looking at this house, this row of houses on this street, and back when they were built in the 1920s or so, the equipment wasn't what we have today. And just the feat of putting these houses in some of these neighborhoods is just impressive. I don't know if we could do it, the craftsmanship that they had back in the day. So, yeah, everything that they did was very impressive, how they built our city, the hard work, the hard work ethic that they have, the steel workers, and that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of our Pittsburgh history, and I'm trying to do my part to keep it going.
Well, listen, I know why Pittsburgh chooses Greater Pitt Tree Service, but final thought. So I'm driving through Bloomfield. My man Mark Mackey is taking me through these back streets to get me a little private parking space so I could go out and do a quick video with an incredible family, the Marino family. And I'm thinking to myself, how does Carlos get in and out of the traffic? One way, all of a sudden, is no way. You got bumper traffic, cars on both sides of the street, and these houses are just a few feet apart. You guys really are like surgeons with a scalpel. How do you do that?
Yeah, I was in the car with a buddy of mine the other day, and we're whittling through those back streets behind Liberty Avenue, and I was telling him, I'm like, we actually have to get our tree trucks back here sometimes and pluck these trees out of this landlocked little yard. We've dragged trees through people's houses because it's the only way they get to their backyard. If they're in one of those row houses and there's no access on either side. And I love it. I love the challenge. I go out and look at every job that our salesmen have sold, and I figure out, sometimes we have to leave our trucks out on Liberty Avenue, do the tree job, drag it to a point that's accessible, and then bring our truck and chipper in to process it, because these streets are so small, we just block the road for hours. So I love going out there and trying to figure out, how are we going to get this tree out of this landlocked row house backyard in Bloomfield. I love it.
So if you live in one of these city of neighborhoods like a Bloomfield and you're listening today and you got to get a tree out of a fenced-in backyard, you got less than a quarter of an acre, you got a little patch of grass, but you got this big monstrous trees that you got to get removed, this is the guy that you want to call. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. All right, now we're going to talk about safety risk when it comes to these big, beautiful trees and when they're not so beautiful and they become dangerous. Falling branches or entire trees pose a risk of injury to people, property damage, especially during storms. There was a young woman recently killed at a softball game, so this can be a very dangerous situation. I think the most important thing, if you have big old trees and you've had a major storm, you've got to check that perimeter right after that storm. But more importantly, if you have these big trees, you need to have them checked on a regular basis, and that's what you guys do with this Plant Tree Healthcare.
Yes, 100%. I looked at a job the other day for one of the coaches over at Central Catholic on the football team where my son's a player, and he wanted some big trees cut down around the back of his property because he has a pool back there, and he's extending the area back there, and then he looks over and he says, yeah, that oak tree's mine. It's on the property line. I really love it. He just built a house back there. So he didn't plant the tree, but he understood the aesthetic value of it. And so I walk over and I look at it and I do an investigation around the tree. And I noticed there were some areas where it looks like maybe something ran into it when they were building the house back there. It just had a case of root rot. And then the soil, the ground around it was really hard and compacted. It's that hard pan, they call it, or clay that we have in our area. And when the soil gets so hard like that, kind of like almost out in the desert where the water doesn't penetrate that hard pan, and the trees kind of getting deprived of the water from the rain. So, and we have an application with that through our plant healthcare. We decompact that soil around the tree and aerate it with an air spade that we have, and blow all that hard compacted soil off and around from the trunk, the base of the tree and the root system, and then we come in with some fresh soil, and it's so beneficial to the tree, the results you can see in the next couple growth cycles. So yeah, that's what we come out and do. And he didn't notice that. We're 50 or 60 yards from the tree, and then I walk over and walk around the tree, and I figured all those things out and recommended what we can do to save that tree and keep it on his property.
All right, let me tell you, I'm a quick learner. There's one piece of equipment that I know now that you could never do your job unless you have it, and that, not even the chainsaw, it's the wood chipper. If you didn't have a wood chipper, how would you do your job?
We would be hauling out a lot of material on the back of the trucks, and the chipper's great. It processes all the branches and limbs from the tree trimming or removal. Our chippers can chip up to 19 inches. It's kind of if you look at a telephone pole out in the street, we can chip up to that size. So it's a matter of production, and then that material we take to a drop-off recycling facility, and they turn it into the colored and dyed mulch, and it gets recycled back into the community and onto these properties. So, yeah, the wood chippers are instrumental in our business for sure.
Last thing before we take a break, but I urge everyone, we're talking about these large trees, beneficial or not, problematic. We want to hear from you. Have any questions about trees in general, now's the time to call, 866-389-1020. The main thing people need to understand, if they think they could do it themselves, please don't do it, especially with these large trees, because interference with utility lines can cause power outages, but more importantly, can take someone's life. Talk about when tree meets power line. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of times, sometimes the trees that were planted that are 80, 90 years old, there wasn't the overhead utilities, and now they've ran them along your street, and so it kind of conflicts the tree branches, or the tree conflicts with especially the lines that are up top, the uninsulated energized lines. And Duquesne Light or West Penn Power, they actually own 15 feet of that airspace. So they come out with their subcontractors that are highly trained, like our crew, and they cut back those branches so they don't hit the energized lines, because that'll make them arc, and then the power gets taken out. So it's kind of a trade-off sometimes. You got to cut that beautiful tree back far enough where it's not a hazard to the utility and power lines there. So, yeah, it's kind of it's a lot going on. You see it. I saw it on Facebook. So, there was a section of Wilkinsburg where the residents were really upset that the power company came through and cut down all these big, beautiful trees. But the issue is they've kind of outgrown their coverage area, and the power company says, do you want electricity or do you want a tree in the front? So you pick. And, you know, everyone's going to pick electricity at that point. They kind of lay it out for those people in a way that they understand it a little better.
We're going to come back, but I want to hear from you on the other side. All of our lines are available. It's tree-related questions. I know you have a few or more than a few, so call us, 866-391-1020, and you can reach them at 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Your Pratt Pack today with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Back after the news, 2 minutes away with Rob Taylor, KDKA.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times, but when you need us, we are here for you, and we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 74 degrees in Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. One man is dead, another's hurt following an altercation that occurred in West Mifflin. Police got to the scene around 11 o'clock Saturday night at a home in the 1100 block of Thompson Run Road. Both victims were inside the home. One man was dead. The other had lacerations and was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police say both men were involved in a physical altercation. Right now, no word on if any charges will be filed. Also, a man is dead after a crash in Westmoreland County. Police say a car rode over in Cook Township around 8 o'clock Saturday night. The man was trapped underneath and was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of that crash is under investigation. Penn State University has suspended a fraternity for a minimum of 4 years following an investigation into hazing allegations. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity was suspended after the university says it received credible reports of hazing that included physical and mental abuse and forced physical activity. Penn State also said students in the fraternity are facing misdemeanor charges under state law that was enacted back in 2017 after a student died following hazing incidents by a separate university fraternity. KDK Radio News Time is 9:31. Next update's at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDK.
Summer storms can spell disaster for your roof and more. At Home Genius Exteriors, we stop the damage before it starts. Call now during our summer savings event and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, get no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors at 855-UR-GENIUS to schedule your free roof and attic inspection. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
Get ready to go bananas at the Robindale Great American Banana Split Celebration, presented by Dole Foods and Giant Eagle Markets, August 23rd and 24th in downtown Latrobe. Enjoy live music on 2 stages, a climbing wall, and tons of activities. Savor delicious local foods and, of course, authentic banana splits. Special guests Punxsutawney Phil and the Pittsburgh Mobile Glass Blowing Unit Saturday afternoon. Gene the Werewolf headlines Saturday night on the Robindale stage. And prepare to be amazed by the Hawaiian Fire Show Sunday. For a full schedule and more activities, visit bananasplitfest.com.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game, stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, we fight for you, making sure big insurance doesn't throw you a curveball. With over $25 billion recovered, we're the home run hitters you need.
This is gone!
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan is responsible for this ad. John Morgan is licensed in Florida and Tennessee. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sun with the risk for a thunderstorm through the evening. Any storm may bring ponding on roadways and gusty winds with a high of 85. Then some clouds tonight, low 62, followed by a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, high 82. Tuesday brings a shower and thunderstorm and warmer conditions with some sun, high 87. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, down to our final 2 segments of the broadcast today. If you want to get a question in about any tree-related issue you may be dealing with, it's a free call, and you'll get some free advice from truly the best. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. But if you want to just cut to the chase, set up an appointment for them, just call 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Problematic or beneficial, talking about those big trees, what to do, trim, remove, all the things that they do every day at Greater Pitt Tree Service. Everybody thinks about a tree falling on your house and destroying your house and making it an even bigger job. But the other thing that I've always noticed, and I've seen firsthand when it comes to these big trees that have been around for a long time, they can bust up sidewalks, they can bust up drainage systems, they can bust up French drains, they can bust up foundations. So what you don't see can be doing you as much harm with these big trees. That's why you need plant health care, regular checkups with our certified arborist, Troy, from Greater Pitt Tree Service. But let's talk about what lies beneath and how it can do some serious damage to your home when it comes to these big trees. Carlos.
Yes, if you're looking outside your window or in your yard and you see a large tree, that's draped over your house or close to growing over your house, you have to also understand what's underneath the ground. The root system in these large trees, they extend out to the drip line, to the canopy, the far ends of the canopy. And so the root system it's almost a mathematical equation. There has to be enough underneath there to support what's above there. So if you're looking at that and you're thinking, wow, these roots could be getting into my foundation, pushing my retaining wall, busting out my water or sewage line, there's a lot involved in it. And we could kind of come out and figure out, if any of that's going on your property and what to do. A lot of times the root systems kind of get up against something and maybe they stop growing, so you might get lucky there. It kind of depends on the species of the tree too. So there's just a lot involved that you're not even thinking about because really you can't see it. So we come out there and say, hey, this root system might end up being a problem. Yeah, you're getting that shade in the summertime, but the cost of repairing this sewage line when it busted out or the water line, there's going to be a cost incurred with that. So we really understand everything involved with these large trees on your property. There's a lot of liability. There's a lot of safety issues. And look, we're not out there to just run out there and cut this huge tree down. We can do some maintenance on it. We can do some plant health care applications on it. So again, we come out, we meet with you, there's a consultation, we give you all the information. Troy, our ISA certified arborist, he really goes into the science of it. So, getting him out there can only benefit your tree and your property. So give us a call, get myself or Troy out there, and we can figure out what to do.
We're going to talk about removal of these big trees in a moment, but you just hit on something that made me think. In this era, as opposed to even 30 years ago, it's more about saving and preserving and maintenance. And if you do the things that you need to do, you won't face that one phone call for someone just to come over and say, get out the chainsaw, we're going to get this thing done, it's got to come down. You really can save a lot of trees, can you not?
We can save them, and we could prolong the shelf life of them, because they do have a planted yard tree does have a shelf life of anywhere between 60 and 100 years, where it's just time to get it out of there. It's gone through its growth cycle. The trees live a lot longer out in the forest and the mountains where they're protected, but when they're on your property, they're kind of isolated. They're challenged with the areas around them where they grow. So it depends a lot on, that's another thing we kind of try to determine, the size of the tree and the age, the shelf life of it. So there's a lot involved in it. And we do, people are attached to these trees, especially if they're the ones that planted them or their family planted it. So, we kind of assess everything and figure out the best plan of attack based on that, based on your budget. There's so much goes into when we come out there, what the end result is going to be.
So somebody asked me to ask you this, and it just popped into my mind because I saw something on television. What about shrubbery, old overgrown shrubbery that's as big as some of these smaller trees with the deep roots and lining someone's house? Somebody buys a house, they just want it all taken out. Is that something you guys do?
Yeah, we can come out there and remove the shrubbery. We kind of like to do it if we're out there doing the larger tree work. Sometimes some of that work falls under a landscaper where you could get maybe a better price, because our workers' comp rate's really high. Our employees, our workers, they're paid really well, and sometimes maybe just a little landscape company in your neighborhood might be a better option. As much as we want the work, I almost have to overcharge to do jobs like that. I'm very transparent. I'll tell the customer, hey, look, your landscaper that cuts your grass, he can do this type of work. So, yeah, and the shrubbery, that does get out of control. And a lot of times those are the first things neglected on a property, especially maybe by an older homeowner that doesn't have the ability to go out there and is on a fixed income, can't afford to pay a landscaper. So, yeah, a lot involved with that too. And, like I said, we have done a lot of jobs like that. It just depends on what your budget can dictate.
Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service will be back with us on August 30th. But for today, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But if you have a tree-related question, especially the big trees, you're going to want to give us a call. But anything on your mind this morning, 866-391-1020. Okay, so it's time to get that thing out of the yard. Dead or dying with little chance of recovery, severely diseased and posing a threat to other healthy trees. See, I didn't know that, but they can actually cause threats to healthy trees. Explain that to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can spread on a dead tree. They become kind of easy pickings for carpenter ants or termites. And once it's run the course on that tree, guess what? They're heading to your home, or it may be another tree on your property. So, yeah, once it's time to get out of there, that large tree out of there, I'm saying, Rob, that's where we really shine. We come out there with 10, 12 guys, millions of dollars in equipment. We have cranes, tracked aerial lifts, bucket trucks. I mean, we're surgical on getting this tree out piece by piece, cut by cut, off of your property without crushing your house, without busting up your yard. That's really where we shine when we come out to remove these trees that we can no longer have any applications that save it or prolong the life. When it's time to get it out of there, I mean, we're the company for that. That's what we specialize in.
Yeah, and that's what you like to do, because I can tell you, if it's a dying tree and your house is threatened, your children, your pets, your neighbors, once it is removed, what a sigh of relief, huh? People just are so joyful to have that decayed tree out of their life.
Yeah, 100%. We come out there and they're so thankful that, we're getting this tree out that maybe hung over their kid's room or over their pool. And, and like you're saying, dead or decayed trees. Now that's a whole nother conversation, because then you get into the area where your homeowner's insurance, if there was a branch that come down or the tree that comes down, whether they cover the claim or not, a lot of it's dependent on the condition of the tree. So if you have a dead tree and it's been there a long time and, you're not sure what to do, get it out of there, because they'll say that you neglected to address it, and their goal is to not cover the claim or to pay as little as possible. That seems to be the insurance company's business model. So, yeah, that's where we can kind of instruct you on what to do. Sometimes a lot of people don't read the fine print in their policy. So dead, decaying trees, you got to get them out of there. They're never going to get better. They're only a hazard. They're a liability. They're an issue with your homeowner's insurance. Call us and we'll get it out of there for you.
As we go to break, you probably have seen so much walking through these neighborhoods, the swings, the tires that are connected to ropes, the tree houses, people's initials that carved into a tree with the heart. You probably have seen so many things of the past, have you not?
Yeah, we see it all out there. We took down some trees where a guy built a tree house up against it with his son when he was young, and
wow.
And it was just time to get it out of there, and we just kind of cut it away with our chainsaws. We did a tree the other day. There was a huge hook that the homeowner put in there to hang a hammock, I think, and the tree just kind of grew almost all the way around it where you could barely see it anymore. So we see it all out there, a lot of wildlife in the trees. We come across a lot of bees, hornets, and wasps unexpectedly, families of raccoons, squirrels in these hollowed out trees. So, again, those are all the things that just make it where I love what I do. I love every day's different. There's so many challenges that arise that you didn't see going into it that you have to navigate through, and that's really what I enjoy about this business.
Carlos cares. He's a Pittsburgher like you. No one knows the streets. No one can navigate it better. His crew gets it done right the first time. We're going to come back, talk about why Troy, our certified arbor, is so important. Some of the reasons why, if you don't do anything today, you need to call and get registered for the plant health care. He's the arborist on duty. Young man who knows his stuff will keep you where you need to be and keep those leaves green and getting you a lot of joy moving forward season after season. Their number is 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But if you have a tree-related question, one more segment to get on the line and get some good advice. 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. Back with your Pratt Pack in 3 minutes.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
Just don't do it. Just don't go another day climbing in and out of that unsafe, ugly bathtub. Today's the day to step into a gorgeous new shower from PJ Fitzpatrick. The jacuzzi shower system from PJ Fitzpatrick features a low entry threshold. Just walk right in. The jacuzzi shower is luxurious, affordable, and it installs in just 1 day. Plus, PJ will include a free shower seat and safety bars for all customers this month. Visit trustpj.com today for your free design consultation.
Hi, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. My wife Barb and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary with a Florida family vacation. The intense August heat prompted me to share a story with my grandkids about working my first job as an assistant golf pro in my early 20s. I earned $2.10 an hour and was thrilled when I found a great pair of work shoes for only $7. They were injection molded plastic. Even the stitching was plastic. I felt like I'd hit the jackpot with those fine-looking shoes. That was until I was teaching a golf lesson on a hot summer day. When standing on the tee, I felt my feet burning up and realized my shoes were literally melting onto the grass. I suddenly realized why they'd been such a bargain. Remembering times like those make me appreciate the journey of my life. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we're interested in hearing your story because understanding your beginnings is an important part of appreciating what it took to get where you are today. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Home title theft. It's on the rise and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's talk about why you need a certified arborist. Our man Troy, of course, Greater Pitt Tree Service. We're going to get Carlos back on the air here in a minute, but I'm going to give you one more opportunity. We got about 7 minutes left in today's broadcast. Won't be back till August 30th. If you want some free advice when it comes to your trees, especially those large trees, give us a call, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. So, crucial to consult with a certified arborist to assess the health and condition of your large trees, especially if you suspect disease, damage, or potential hazards. They have the expertise and equipment to safely evaluate the situation, recommend the most appropriate course of action, which could involve trimming, treatment, or removal. So, Carlos, fill in the blanks and explain why we've got the best in young Troy at Lampenfeld and, of course, Greater Pitt Tree Service. Go ahead.
Yeah, Troy's he's a rock star right now in this industry, and he's highly educated. He knows everything going on your property. I kind of equate it like when you go to the doctor. He looks at you, sees what's wrong with you. They're going to do tests. They're going to take blood. You know, that's kind of what Troy does out on your property with your trees, plants, shrubbery. He does visual assessments. He does soil samples, figures out everything involved on your property, and comes up with a program that we can, present to you to keep everything healthy on your property. There's so many applications that we provide now. There's something for everything on your property that we can do to keep it looking that way. There's a lot of aesthetic value in these plants, shrubs, and trees on your property, and Troy's aware of all that. He comes in and, lets you know this is the time of year to address this, and this is the application we have for that. And to bring them out, it's a $129 call, but we're going to do something on your property, and we roll that into the cost of what we're going to do out there. So, to bring him out there, you couldn't make a better call right now. If you have trees, plants, or shrubs on your property, give us a call. We can get Troy out there and kind of steer you in the right direction on what to do.
When I think of big trees, I think of maple and oak. But what else, when we would think big trees, what falls into the category? Because I guarantee you mentioned something, evergreen or what have you, it's going to make somebody realize, hey, I got to make a call. What are some of the other big trees that you deal with?
There's a lot of trees that aren't planted in our area that grow indigenous to these western PA hillsides. The black locust that get, 70, 80, 90, 100 feet tall sometimes, or these wild cherry trees that are in your backyard in a wooded area that, nobody planted, but they're going to be threatening to your yard. There's tulip poplar trees. They're more of a planted tree. They're usually the tallest tree in the area. They just keep growing straight up, and because of that, more often than not, they've been struck by lightning at some point or another, and a lot of times you really can't even see it because it's so high in the air. So, if you're outside and you're looking and you're seeing the trees that are the tallest and dominating the areas, those are the ones you might be a little concerned about, and we're aware of all those species. If it's a locust or wild cherry tree, you didn't plant it, doesn't have much value, or you're not too, connected to it, then maybe it's time to get it out of there. Or maybe reduce it, get it below the wind line. So that's usually going to be the deciding factor why the top of the tree gets busted off or the whole tree comes down, because the winds that it's getting up there 70, 80 feet in the air are a lot higher than you feel on the ground. So again, we come out and figure all that out and let you know what you should do, recommend what you shouldn't do, and kind of go from there on what we're going to do for you.
All right, real quick, we got that kickoff classic, Wolverina, Central Catholic, your son team. Coach will be there as well, and we're looking forward to it. Give me a little bit of a preview as far as this year's Central Catholic Viking team. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're so talented, athletic, and deep right now. It's fun to watch. We had a scrimmage yesterday against McKeesport and kind of ironing out the kinks and getting ready for LaSalle, big powerhouse in the eastern part of the state. Central's always going to be Central. They're always going to be competitive. We're blessed to have all these athletes that come there, and my son's a part of it. The coaching staff is great. Head coach Ryan Lehmeyer, he was a great fit for the job, and the culture and everything that's going on with Central right now. It's kind of a whole new wave, and it's nice to have a young gun in there like Coach Lehmeyer to navigate through all of it.
Yeah, Ryan Lehmeyer was a really good football player at North Hills, had some really good stints as an assistant at places like Pine Bridgeland, understands the quarterback position. I just really enjoy what they're doing, and obviously they're going to do an upgrade down there at that historic school in the shadow of the Cathedral of Learning. So all is good with my beloved Central Catholic. Best of luck to your son, Cello, and company. Listen, the final minute, just tell folks, don't put it off. Don't wait until the weather starts getting colder, the nights start getting longer. If there are some things that need to get done, now's the time to jump on the phone and make the call. Right, Carlos?
Yes, 100%. It can only be a beneficial call. It's a call some people kind of procrastinate about, but go ahead and make it. We're going to make sure you don't regret calling our company. It's going to be a positive experience for everyone involved. We have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we're accredited through them. They're the organization that's second to none as far as who you want on your property to do any type of work, any contractor, any home improvement. Go on the Better Business Bureau, do the research, read the reviews. We're not perfect. Some things have happened in the past, but to maintain an A-plus rating through them is an achievement in itself, and we're very proud of it.
Listen, I hear nothing but good things about you. And here's the other thing people need to understand. We've got 30 seconds. Just when you think everything's okay, we get a big storm, and then you guys are booked morning, noon, and night. So right now, while the weather is clear and good and holding, now's the time to get that appointment, right?
Yeah, for sure. And listen, we handle the workload. When it gets hectic, my crew, my staff, we all dig in and handle the extra workload. So yeah, it's better to call now than when we get kind of busy like that. Might be a little longer to get a salesman out there or to get your job scheduled, but we're going to get to you for sure.
All right, back on August 30th at noon. That's a Saturday. So until then, keep doing what you do, Carlos, and best of luck to Central Catholic Friday, okay?
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
All right, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. News coming up next.
The proceeding was paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
KDKA TV, Barry Pintar. And as we get ready to transition to the fall, you did a story that involves Pittsburgh Brewing.
We saw on the line coming out the Blockhouse Pumpkin Ale, which has just exploded in popularity. It's like the #1 pumpkin ale in this part of the country right now.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446. 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. You know, 90th anniversaries are a big deal. That's why AARP is joining forces with Social Security to celebrate its 90th anniversary. So what does that mean to you? Well, there are going to be free events throughout the area where you can win some prizes, learn more about Social Security, and find out what AARP is doing to help you. So how do you get more information? It's real simple. Go to aarp.org/local.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 79 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. One man is dead, another is hurt following what police are calling a physical altercation in West Mifflin. Police arrived at the scene in the 1100 block of Thompson Run Road Saturday night around 10:45. They found both victims inside of that home. One man was dead. The other had lacerations and was transported to the hospital in stable condition. Both men, police say, involved in a physical altercation. No word on if any charges will be filed. A man is dead after a crash in Westmoreland County. Police say a car rolled over in Cook Township around 8 o'clock Saturday night. The man was trapped underneath and was pronounced dead at the scene. Cause of the crash is under investigation. A man is dead following a crash involving 2 motorcycles in Fayette County. This crash happened Saturday morning at the intersection of Route 21 and Leckrone High House Road. That's in McClellan Town. 2 motorcycles, as mentioned, were involved. One of the motorcyclists, 25-year-old Delbert Valentine Jr., died at the scene. Cause of the crash is under investigation. Well, in Brooklyn, New York, a shooting at a nightclub there has left 3 people dead, 8 others injured. Here's CBS News New York City reporter Zinnia Maldonado.
Police say at 3:27 a.m., a 911 call, they received multiple 911 calls, in fact, regarding a shooting inside the lounge, Taste of the City. Police say officers arrived within minutes and they found numerous victims. Again, 11 victims ranging from the ages of 27 years old up to 61 years old. It was 8 men, 3 women. The 3 victims that have been pronounced dead are all men.
The driver who was accused of hitting a man with his vehicle in Uptown early Saturday morning has been identified. Police say 34-year-old Kamal Prasad Upredi appeared to have been under the influence of alcohol when he allegedly struck a man near 5th Avenue and Marion Street around 2:30 Saturday morning. The man later died at the hospital. Police say bystanders